And we are live. Welcome to Michigan Bros Grow Show. I
Cheers,
forgot
everybody.
what
Happy Easter
episode.
Bunny.
Episode like two. We're almost at 200,
192.
guys.
I know, that's
It's the
awesome.
it's like 192. So yeah, 8 more, and
This
that's
is
pretty exciting.
The Easter edition,
Yeah,
or the
this is
Easter Fragoli.
Easter. If you
You couldn't
notice, for
tell.
Groli got his
I actually
man.
don't.
That's a lot
I
on your
just,
head,
I
dude.
texted him here and he
Sunglasses,
does.
ears.
I just saw him.
It's okay. I just did a dab without the dab rig on, so we're gonna go ahead and turn that on. And
Nice,
that was a
nice.
nice, tasty, terpy lime skunk hit, though. I'll tell you
Oh
what.
wow.
That just went nowhere. Cheers, everybody.
Shoot, we got Red and Becca. They're coming with technical difficulties as usual. What's up, chat? Thanks for showing up on Easter.
Oh shit! You said chat. I need to get that up.
Yeah,
Cheers,
get your
Live
chat
chat.
over to live chat. Yep.
Appreciate
Oh,
you
I'm
sharing
already ready.
with us.
But yeah, so this is episode 192, and we are live. So I don't really have too much going on here. I did want to say it's got some interesting news with the House representative getting charged this week. Bribe for and three others taking bribes for medical licenses up here in Michigan. So I mean, everyone kind of you think about that and you're like, oh, these fuckers take bribes and do things crooked, and then it happens to be true. So we'll
This
see what
not.
comes with
Let's
that.
just put it out there. This is
And
not the only place that they take bribes and do shitty things.
Well,
we
yeah.
Fucking
just
do it
finally happen to
everywhere.
be prosecuting
it's
this
just getting in
particular
everywhere.
case. Let's pretend like it doesn't happen everywhere.
Let them get their foot
what makes
in.
this big though is he's not fighting it. He is pleading guilty, which means that he's getting away with far more for sure if he's pleading guilty.
Oh yeah, usually
So-
that is the case.
I'll just put that out there. I can't stand this guy. This is the same guy that threw out a veteran when a veteran was up there talking about the benefits of cannabis. So yeah, I don't say I hate a lot of people, but I've hated this guy for a really long time.
There we got Rosemary Oasis. Red, what's up?
Hey guys.
Welcome.
Cheers, guys.
We're just talking about the Representative Rick Vernon Johnson and his gang of douchebags that got charged. But this is a government website, so this
That's
is like the
ridiculous.
official indictment papers, I guess, or information. But yeah, so that's kind of big that they're actually looking into this and stuff like
Have
that.
they gotten the information of who the donors to their cause were? What companies that are currently operating that shouldn't be?
The cash payments were made to 3 business entities. No, hang on, I'll read it and I'll find out.
Yeah, who did these cash payments come from, and why are they licensed right now?
Yeah, well, yeah, that's a big question too. Yeah,
Right.
Why do
I'm
they
sure
still
that's
have
where they're.
license right now?
I wonder if that's the other people that got charged.
CRA, where you at?
Oh
man?
yeah, Brian Dennis Pierce,
Gordon.
45 of Midland, was charged with conspiracy to commit bribery. So that's one of the people that. Yep. The
Yeah, there's
rest of
four
the three were
charges.
the people. Yeah.
Yeah, four of them are being charged. 2 of them with 5-year felonies, 2 of them with 10-year felonies. I'm sure they'll all get pleaded down and whatnot, but we'll see where it goes. And it's just good to see they're prosecuting something like this.
Dickie.
Yeah,
And
it's
think about this though. This is what makes this kind of more harsh than what people realize. If they get charged and convicted of a felony, they can no longer work in the legal business in Michigan for life.
yeah.
So it's a
Well,
little
yeah,
bit.
they're already.
That's kind of a big.
Well, it says Rick Vernon Johnson's 70 years old.
Yeah, 2 of them are 70. So I mean,
Delali's 70, and so they're just gonna retire with all their bribery money.
Guess what? Rick Johnson, after he quit working in the government, what his job was and what his current job was.
lobbyist.
Yeah, he was a lobbyist.
Surprise.
Yeah. So, but what's interesting is we're in the first 10 years of an industry, and they're already at least investigating some of them. Obviously the perfect scenario is they get all of them, but I
mean, the most likely
look
time
at
it's
the
going to happen
alcohol
is right at
industry, the casino industries, all kinds of other industries. they kind of let those industries go for a long time without looking into them. So it's nice to see they're at least doing something. Where I didn't expect it. I just opened my phone one day. I was like, oh boy, that's interesting news. But
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
now
that's the problem with lobbying and stuff like that. Is there's that gray line. They're like, where is it cross into bribery anyways, and it's so close to it
Well,
that that kind of stuff happens. So
well, unfortunately, if you look in a little bit of the details, a lot of the ways that they're getting rid of this, or the way that they're kind of hiding the money trail, is um, through donations to charities. And a lot of the charities created by these politicians or by these other entities. And so they use these, I don't want to say fake, because maybe these organizations do good, but they create these organizations in which they're control of, and then they can hide their money by donating to their organization instead of directly donating to them.
yeah.
See Clinton Foundation.
But so yeah. Other than that, there's no big news. I don't have any huge cannabis news. The weather's great, so get your plants ready for outdoor if you're gonna do outdoor. I sat in the sun today.
Me too,
That was
man.
nice.
That weather is beautiful.
But,
Yeah, we're looking at 80s this week, and I mean, I had frost on the ground this morning,
Mhm.
so I won't be really putting out too much yet. But I'm definitely now prepared to like do all the outdoor preparation. You know what I mean? Now that the
yeah,
ground has kind of broken.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit different
yeah.
down where you guys are. I saw Red, Rosemary's Oasis. Not tilling, but what's that tool called that you got?
Broad fork, man.
Yeah, broad fork. Kind of tearing up the lawn or whatever. And I don't even think I could get that thing into the ground like 2-3 weeks ago. So, but I think now we're kind of thawed out. It's looking pretty good. The chickens have been really enjoying the weather and running around. I had an encounter with a hawk yesterday, a red-tailed hawk. Actually, let me back that up. I think it was yesterday or 2 days ago. I don't know if you guys saw this. I posted on my story. You guys know those big, just giant black birds that fly around real slow and they don't really
Those
fly.
buzzards, yeah.
Yeah. I think they're turkey vultures or turkey
Yeah.
vultures. Is that what they're? Yeah.
Turkey vultures.
Yeah. So those are scavengers. And I used to be worried about them when I kind of first saw them. But then I looked them up and I realized that they just eat dead stuff. They're looking for roadkill and stuff like that. But they're scavengers. Well, we all know our beloved, sign of America, if you will. The bald eagle, unfortunately, is also a scavenger. Well, there was 6 of these turkey vultures flying around in a circle in my front yard and my neighbor's yard. And I look a little bit closer, and one of them, I guess one of the 7 really, was a freaking bald eagle. And it's just chilling, gliding with it the whole time. Just, they're all like kind of going back and forth in circles like it was just part of the crew. But I'm like, I guess it makes sense. It's a similar sized bird. They're all just scavengers. And honestly, once it comes time to finding something and getting down the ground, that thing's probably going to take it from the other one. So,
yes.
like he's just kind of there, just hanging out. But in any case, I had my drone up, and trying to enjoy the sunny weather and everything. And I'm just flying around the farmland and whatnot. And out of nowhere, I got the FPV, so it's got the goggles on. And so I'm looking at, the first person view of what my drone's seeing, and out of nowhere, this red-tailed hawk just comes into view and just scoops right in front of me and just like checking me out, like, "Hey, what you doing, dude?" But that was a sign that it was probably time to hang out by the chickens and make sure he didn't swing by. But he once he came and checked me out, man, he dove bomb into some woods and kind of took off. It was very interesting. But I think it might be the same one that checked me out last year when I was flying. I got this real nice photo or screen cap or whatever of a red-tailed hawk, maybe 10 feet from my drone, just staring at it like, "I'm gonna take you out, bro." What are you doing in my territory?
Yeah.
Ready to beat you down.
Yeah, they're wild birds.
Well, I think hawks go after other birds too, so it's probably just think it's a bird.
Well, yeah, they're predator. Unlike the other two, right, that are scavengers, that is a predator. That thing will. I've seen them dive bomb off of a cell tower just to take a squirrel out of my neighbor's yard and throw it over the roof, dude. I watched this thing dive bomb off a cell tower like a decade, maybe more ago. It grabbed a squirrel out of my neighbor's front yard and literally threw it over the roof, 100 feet over the roof. And
Oh my
I'm just like, oh my god. Dude. And we've all seen them, like videos of them like taking ducks out and stuff, just slicing heads off, dive bomb. They're crazy, man. They're terrifying. Chickens have no chance.
Cheers, Dan.
Cheers, Dan.
Yeah, cheers, Dan.
Oh,
Took
damn, I
me
have some hats right here.
like all of 2 days to get through that, man. I'm gonna get some more.
I just ran out of the Cobra milk.
This one is so good. I already finished the Midnight Frost, so that did not last too long with me.
Nice.
That's so great. So great.
Is that what it was? Someone told me one of their jars, and I don't know if it was him or someone else, told me that whatever it was labeled was something else. And I assume, like, you know, he's a pretty professional guy. I don't know why he'd put something else in there, but someone told me that, man, it's like, if I don't have a pen or a marker handy to like write that down, or you hand me like a handful of bud and it's not going in a bag with your name on it, I'm never going to remember it. Right. Even like when baked hands be a bag with some delicious and great looking herb and it just says PM on it, all I can think is powdery mildew. Like that's literally all I can think.
That was so bad.
I still don't know what that strain was.
You remember what it was, baked?
You're Michigan or something?
What?
PM, man. You're not listening to the conversation.
He's just over there.
No, I was looking at chat.
If we're good, trying to say your blood was good and all this, and you can't even.
PM is pineapple mousse.
Pineapple mousse. That's right. Okay.
Oh, damn, Becky.
I only have one of them. Which one did you get? Number 1 or 2?
Actually, I don't remember. I don't think I have the bag.
I got PM too.
2's the one I kept. I liked it better.
I got PM too.
But I don't have one anymore.
Hey, Beck.
Hey, hey.
Hey, Beck, I will say, you know, I hate to be a one-upper, but I brought it specifically for this reason, because I knew there was going to be some candy on the show tonight, and I really thought it was going to be Red that brought it up. I will say that Reese's eggs, you know, better than Christmas trees, better than cups. Certainly as a child, probably my favorite.
Like original cups.
Yeah, the eggs. I think the eggs are better than all those things. Not the big bunnies, not the Christmas trees, the eggs, the little eggs. I think those are the best version of the Reese's. But I found something yesterday that took me back to the store today, and I hate to even share it because I want to
Reese's Jesus.
No. On a cross. No.
On your story?
Ratio.
It is the Easter version of Sour Punch sauce. Guys, these are so good.
That's a stomach ache for me. Wait to happen.
Red, you got all kinds of blue, green, and red. You got all kinds of like.
Dude, it's grape, it's lemon, it's blueberry, it's like strawberry, and they're all sour and they're all delicious and they're so good. But you guys won't like them. Don't buy them.
Candy today, not one stitch. I made a strawberry cake for my son and his wife and us, and that's the only sweet thing. Well, we had some donuts this morning, but I'm not counting them. That was
I mean, that trumps everything. Let's be real. Donuts.
I love donuts.
Everybody, how's all that butyric acid today?
Hey,
going down great.
I wanted to bring that up. I'm glad you brought that up, Brad.
Regurgitated.
So let me ask everybody on the panel. You guys like Parmesan cheese?
Yeah,
Safer the better, bro. Pecorino, give it to me.
The main flavor part of that is butyric acid, so it's the same thing. So pick your poison.
Are they adding that to the cheese?
My worries.
Like
I think it's the butyric acid that's in vomit is what I think of.
Oh gosh,
it's the same. It's the same thing that makes Parmesan cheese what Parmesan cheese is.
Yeah, can I ask, Biggs, are they adding that to the like culturing process, or is that part of the culture?
Ooh, I don't know.
It's part of the milk. It's the preservation of the
probably it's probably part of the fermentation.
My lab results.
Let's find out.
Almost every time, my lab results for my cannabis extracts produce an acetone result. I think it's acetone, right? I don't use any form of acetone or acetate or whatever it is, but that is a natural digestive byproduct of all organic life. And when you concentrate something, you're going to get it in a more concentrated form. And that is one of the things that cannabis does. It creates that acetone, acetate, whatever it's called. And so that is always like the one question I get on my residual solvents results. Like, why is there acetone in there or whatever? You know, it's like, that is just a digestive byproduct. I had to ask the guys at PSI Labs about that. Cause I'm like, where's this come from? Like, is this part of your guys like testing? Like, what are you guys cleaning with that? Like what's happening here? You know, but no, they just explain. So that's why.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm all for Hershey's chocolate. I'm on Team Hershey. So I don't
Yeah.
mind. I don't mind it. I'm just saying, like people, the people that naysay Hershey's now because this butyric acid shit,
Hey, I like chocolate
they
and
probably are
I like
shoveling
Parmesan
Parmesan.
cheese.
Hey,
I like them
exactly. There's
both.
nothing wrong with either. It's just it's a tiny little chemical property.
I would say the high fructose corn syrup and all the vegetable oils is gonna get you a bit faster than the.
Exactly.
So
So
I'd say live life. That's what I say.
I love
Eat
the
your
smart
goddamn
method,
food.
dude.
Eat what
I
you
really
like.
have to
Put a
watch
smile on your face.
sugar. I really have to watch all.
Well,
the
yeah,
sugar.
well, that's different for you,
Yeah,
for sure, and for
I
other people as
try-
well.
These are like my kryptonite. Like I'll eat the whole thing, and I already have
oh,
eaten
the eggs.
a Kit Kat
Today?
yesterday.
Okay, so round 2, it's fine.
So I'm quite decided if I'm gonna smash it or what.
Those things don't bother me. Reese
Well, if you
Ann-
haven't decided, don't have it out there in front of you because that's going to make your decision
I would
real
say by the
quick.
time you finish
Decision
that
is
joint,
made,
you know you're gonna want to
She
smash
just
those
set it down next to her.
Reese's.
You know she's
We just
got
smashed
it.
into it.
She's committed.
It was a gift. From
Just
Mom.
got it.
Yeah,
Why
The
why
problem
make it
is,
last till
Becca,
tomorrow?
if it's around you, you're gonna eat it.
Why make it last a week when it can be gone tonight?
You guys know nothing of my willpower, and now I'm not gonna eat to spite.
Oh,
you.
it's a challenge
Okay.
now. I like
Oh,
this.
Red, you're. Oh shit, they're probably broken now.
Slammed. Mike dropped the butyric acid.
I don't think it's the same chocolate, is it?
I
I
mean,
think
if
that's-
it's milk chocolate, it's used for
Hershey.
it's used for the
I guess they probably use the same.
and it's not it's like most American
I like the cups.
companies use
So,
them.
so Bakes, you hitting the grocery store tomorrow to get the half off on all that shit and stock
Dude,
up?
it's already 25%
No, I'm
off.
not-
That's why I got these.
I know, but
tonight,
tomorrow,
bang, bang.
tomorrow will be
I like,
50.
I like
It's
Tomorrow
not
will be
gonna be
50
left
off.
tomorrow. I don't care. All I wanted was a sour punch.
Here's
That's
the
not-
secret.
so good. I
hey.
bought them
Go to
shits out in
Walgreens.
2 Meyer.
Walgreens
Hey,
got
I'm
all-
sorry. I'm sorry, and I'm not going to be moved on this, but if it's not chocolate, get the fuck out of here with that. That's not even candy.
You're tripping.
It's got to be fucking chocolate.
Chocolate
What about
isn't
this?
candy.
What about this?
Chocolate
You got
is its own
chocolate
category.
on the
That's
inside.
chocolate- yeah, it's chocolate on the inside. That's acceptable. It's not my
Well,
favorite.
That's chocolate
It's not
wrapped
my
in
favorite,
candy.
But then
but
if I switch to these,
That's
you got a
bullshit.
problem.
Yeah,
Oh
that's
man.
bullshit.
I like
Yeah,
the Tootsie
right.
better. I don't like.
Uh,
I like the Tootsie Rolls.
I don't know. There's nothing like
Dude,
getting to
there's blow in
the
the
juice
name. It obviously
in the
blows.
middle of
They
a blow
put it right
pop.
on the bag for you. They put it right on the bag. It says it blows right on the bag.
No, they're
This
delicious. They got
episode-
they got the best blue raspberry on the market.
This
It is
panel is
pretty
full of
good.
poor
Oh.
health choices, and I don't mean to be. It ain't sweet.
Yeah.
So,
I
all you
did look it
people
up, and
who don't like
butyric.
weed, keep eating your candies.
Red, are you not partaking in the Reese's?
I haven't had any candy. No, I
Oh,
Piece of chocolate.
I had a piece
damn.
of dark chocolate. Yeah,
Good for you. Good for you. I
I had to
I
have
had to buy some.
and we had eggs. We had eggs today, so I celebrated Easter. Dude, we had a gnarly barbecue. Some smoked pulled pork, homemade barbecue sauce. My cousin made. Shout out to my uncle. Homemade coleslaw.
Yeah.
My aunt made some homemade potato salad. Shout out to Daddy Red for the deviled eggs. They're driving. I don't know if they're listening.
Shout out Daddy
We made
Red.
some
All
gnarly
right.
deviled eggs. Daddy Red's always hooking up the deviled eggs. On a celebrating a Christian holiday with a egg by the devil is pretty interesting. I have to admit, and it's kind of cool. The or is it a pagan holiday? It's both. More of a pagan holiday made Christian. Yeah. Celebrating the pagan holiday made Christian. Yeah, that's what we celebrate today. Our family gets together. We also got in the garden today, and Becca kind of caught me frolicking. I was like, arms out, smiling. I was like giving thanks for the beautiful day. We were getting a plant on Easter. You know, it's the signifying spring celebration. You know, whether you celebrate it for religious reasons or for spiritual reasons or for just
Medicinal reason.
family and chocolate, yeah, or for American chocolate. It's definitely the spring celebration. you know, no matter who you're. Well, if you're in the northern hemisphere, it's the spring celebration. So yeah, I was loving. I was just giving thanks, man. I was happy. I was thankful to not be, you know, slaving in an office somewhere doing something else and being able to do this and get dirty. And we finished the foundation for our greenhouse, which was a slight challenge. It was a little different than the foundation for the chicken coop. Chicken coop is pretty easy. Just put blocks on some sand, on some clay. You know, it was a pretty flat level situation. But we had a little bit of a slope that we were trying to put a foundation on. So I do some digging and some flattening and hauled some rock for the last couple of days. I've been hauling rock like I'm building a pyramid. So that's been kind of fun. And I kind of did. I leveled it all out, got a little perimeter set. And then I even had to kind of build a little ramp to go up because there was a little step, and we kind of want to make it a dual entrance. It's going to have entrance, egress. You know, it's going to have an in and an out. There's going to be 2 doors in our greenhouse. It's going to be an indoor and an outdoor, in through the outdoor, if you will. Here, maybe I can pause it. There we go. A little ramp. That's the back side. So where the lattice is on the front, that would be the front side. Oh, that's somebody's broccoli. Let's see.
Some organic broccoli.
Yeah. There's a little side. So you can see
that's dope.
Here, it's about a foot high. Back here in this corner, it's actually ground level. So I had to do some leveling. I had to do some fixing and stuff, but boulders, you know, we had boulders around our trees and stuff. So I just kind of grabbed those and used those to block in the dirt. And so the dirt goes up almost to the clay, kind of goes up almost most of the way up the boulder. And then I got 21A. It's basically 1.5 inch rock down to dust. And it packs down really, really nice. It's a great foundation material. Base rock material. So I got that all tamped down really nice. And then
did you use like a hand tamp, like one of those?
I actually went and bought a tamper. Okay, this is a tool that I'm gonna use.
Yeah, man, I feel you on that. Patios and shit, like
the chicken coop. You know, we saved on not getting one, but with this one, I was like, there's too much involved with this, like with a runoff and slide out of, like, you know.
I'm gonna need to borrow that this summer. I'll trade you some spare chicken fencing for it.
Yeah, dude, absolutely. And the so it was a fun job there. And I'll tell you what, man, I always talk about serendipity. We ordered the materials for it, 1 cubic yard of 21A. It was exactly enough to do the perimeter, flatten it out, make the ramp, and then fill in the middle and flatten it all out. And like the calculations that I did was 100 square feet, a yard of 21A will get you or a yard of crushed concrete or something will get you about 2 inches at 100 square feet. Well, we're doing just about 100 square feet, but we needed like
until you tamp it down.
Until we tamp it down, we needed like 5 inches on one side. So I was like looking at this pile in my driveway, going, I don't know if this is gonna be enough. and I was kind of worried because it was 60. It was only like 30 or 40 bucks for the actual gravel.
Yeah,
$60 for the delivery.
Oh shit, dude.
So, you know, I was like, damn, I should have got 2 yards. But if I had 2 yards, I'd be sitting on a yard right now. So I'm kind of glad I didn't. And now, once again, our driveway is clear. No more piles of stuff. I've been hauling piles of shit out of our driveway in a wagon for so long. My front yard doesn't grow grass yet.
Dude, your shoulders are probably so yoked right now. It's probably ridiculous.
It's kind of a good way to start the summer.
Hell yeah, man.
Feeling a little jello.
Dude, you're ready for the beach, I bet, bro.
Yeah, I was feeling a little jello-y in like January and February. It was kind of nice to get out there in the beginning of March and just start hucking wood chips and getting out there.
Dude, I just got a yard of crushed 21 AA crushed asphalt to fix some potholes from the rain and stuff, you know, that my gravel driveway kind of washed out or whatever. And dude, it fixed like 3 potholes, a whole yard of it
Oh my
fixed like
God.
3 potholes. So
Wow.
I know that feeling now, and
Wow.
and I get it because when I redid my whole driveway a few years ago, it was I think they brought in 40 yards, dude. And like I think you're the only one, you guys are the only ones
Damn.
that seen that driveway. But yeah, it's like it was just a crazy. I know it was at least 3, but I want to say it was 4 truckloads. And it's just like it's crazy, and it just gets washed away so easily with rain and stuff, you know. But yeah, tamping it down, like having a roller or something come through and like, you know, compress it other than just your tires is obviously very important, because otherwise you're just making lines or, you know, another route for the water to go down. But yeah, no, that's so you just say concrete. What did you guys use? 21A concrete?
No, 21A. I was trying to find crushed concrete because it's a waste material, and it's like a recycled waste.
Recycle, yeah.
But we couldn't get it locally. Locally, we were able to get the 21A. So we sourced it from yeah, it was actually like a limestone base.
Oh, nice. Yeah, limestone's pretty good
hard.
base for something.
Yeah,
like that.
yeah, it's hard. It's harder than it's, you know, more secure than concrete.
Yeah, that's what they're putting on dirt
Yes.
roads now. They're you know, I think it's just a little bit more affordable than crushed asphalt or something else. But I know I paid $39 probably plus tax, I think, for my 1 yard of crushed asphalt.
Some sweet gravel.
I had a place that was only like $22 or something up in Brighton, but it was $250 to ship it here. So
Yeah, well, yeah. I just, dude, okay, so that's the thing. Like, even with the mulch, the gravel, like asphalt, I get all this stuff from the same spot. They'll come and do 10 yards at a time, but it's still like, you know, you're paying $180 or something for a delivery. And so like I got a truck, like just I'll take 2 yards at a time. You know what I mean? Like it's 5 trips, like it's just a lot of shoveling or whatever. But
the other place,
guess what? My truck can get places their freaking giant, you know, dump trucks can't too. So
yeah, we had a place that their minimum order quantity was 3.5 yards
for delivery.
Way too much for us, even though like their delivery was like practically free at that point.
Yeah, you just got to find someone to split it with at that point, you know.
Yeah, and a landscaping trailer would be sweet. I've been actually like looking at those trailers. I'm going, oh, all right, yeah. So like a normal like landscaping trailer is not going to hold the load, but those big black ones with the big steel sides, those fuckers will hold the load.
Yeah, you just put a tarp in it, and there you go.
But they're quite a bit more expensive.
$1,400 or something like that for those.
Truck bed. Would your suspension hold a yard of gravel?
Yes, it actually holds 2. Not that I necessarily recommend it, but I think my max is okay. So it was 1.2 pounds. I think was 1.2 tons was 1 cubic yard of crushed AA 21 AA asphalt. So I think I could maybe get 2 if I'm not going far. I'd probably really, to be safe, do 1.5. But I think even like the 1.5 ton series trucks, like the Chevy 1500, the Ford F-150, all those, I think they still have like a it's, I know it's over 3,000. It might be like 3,500 pounds. Like, I don't know what's the word, like the bed truck weight, tow weight, not tow weight, load weight, payload. I think that's the word, payload weight. Yeah, tow capacity is something different. That's where you're like pulling a trailer or something. But the payload is, I think it's into the 3,000 pounds. So, and I'm sure, you know, you get something like an 8-foot 3,500 or something, man. Like you probably put like 3 yards of asphalt and something like that.
Yeah, wow.
But yeah, I mean, those trailers, like, yeah, if you need them and you're doing a lot of landscaping, or you do a lot of work like that or something, you know, or you're hauling a lot of stuff, maybe you're moving even, like, that's the thing, like, just getting a trailer might save you on movers or something, or a U-Haul or whatever, if you have the capacity to haul it. So they're generally very useful.
We picked one up last summer with Daddy Red and I, and we split it, and dude, it was best fucking investment we could have made, man. We got a ton of stuff that we have to bring home from the farm, and it would normally take like 3-4 trips, you know, if we had to bring it all home. Like, we got pots, we got bags of compost, we've got bags of stems, we got all kinds of random stuff we got home. We're talking about bringing home the next crop and all of that, just all in the trailer, you know, just throw it all in the trailer, bring it all home. Now that we got room in the driveway, that's coming home, and we can source the lumber to get this greenhouse built. But dude, it's such a good investment. Get something to haul our shit around. We use it for vending when we need it.
Yep.
We do those weekend events, and It is. It's a really nice thing to have, man. I'm very, very thankful for it. That's half the reason we got a truck with the capability of towing.
Yeah.
Even though we got a almost 6,000 pound truck, it's like 5.5, but it only tows
breaking Bake's heart right now. You're just breaking his heart.
3,500
Why? Because I
pounds.
can't tow.
We
Yeah.
could barely tow, dude. 3,500 pounds is like we could like maybe tow a Scamp trailer or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, because most trailers are like 1,800 pounds or 1,600
Yeah.
pounds or something like that. Some of the, or at least the enclosed ones or whatnot. But
I was really surprised. But the truck itself is just so fun.
Turbometer.
yeah, I mean yours is for like jet skis and Florida, you know what I mean? Like going like doing shit in Colorado or
yeah. And we do tow. We get like 14 miles to the gallon anyway. That's just,
right.
I think we were hauling what were we hauling? We just had our car loaded down with cocoa. We had cocoa. Like 12 bags or 14 bags of cocoa in the truck. And I got like fucking 13 or 14 miles to the gallon. I'm like,
oh man, that's rough.
Just
You know what? And I'm due for one. Now you're gonna make me look at my like reset and look at my miles per gallon for when I go get those yards of Michigan medium soil, because that's like almost an hour away, and I have to get those like once a month.
Oh man,
yeah, dude, it sucks. And there are stores closer to me that carry that brand, but
what are you getting, a full pallet? Are you getting a full
I'm getting a full yard, dude. Like a yard bag.
Full yard,
like,
okay.
Yeah, a yard bag.
I think that might be like a quarter pallet. That might be about right. Maybe a half. I just wasted that.
That's a good question, because I know they actually just posted their pallets, their like mixed pallets that they ship out to vendor or to grocery stores. It's got like their bloom, their veg, their maybe their starter or their worm castings or whatnot. It's like a variety, pallet that they'll just drop at your store or whatever, so you can have that available. But even that, man, I don't know.
What is there in a yard? There's 27 cubic feet in a yard. Is that right? 29, 3 times 3 times 3. Was it 27 or 28?
I'm gonna look on their website, because sometimes
I want to do the math. I want to figure this. 1.5 yards in a bag. 27 divided by 1.5. 18 bags of
Those must be super sacks.
18 bags of tuper is a yard. So we almost were hauling a yard in the truck. We were 4 bags of a yard.
That's pretty good.
And a pallet is 60 bags. So 60 divided by 18. A yard is a 1/3 of a pallet. 3.333333333 bar 3 is if we're working with tuper yards 3.3.
I was gonna say, seeing that bag in the back of my truck on a pallet next to the pallets with the bags on them. I guess it depends on how many bags they're putting on those pallets, because you can stack them pretty high, shrink wrap them or whatnot. But there's no standard, because some even like at Menards the other day, just looking down their like nursery section, right, at like the Pro Mix that they have now, and like the Miracle Grow and like everything else that exists at these big gardening stores, right? Like some of them will say it's 1 cubic feet of soil, and then some of them will be like it's 1.5 cubic compressed, but it it's
expands.
Yeah. There's just like no standard. So it's like, if you don't know what you want to get, or really understand all this, like you're probably just buying on price, buying on brand name. Like what do you even buy on at that point?
I'll compare price versus size of bag, and that I go for something that I know is a quality product, and I've just used it in the past. That's the only reason I use Tupers, because it's washed, it's clean, it's got a 0 EC, it's got low sodium content, it's not burning. You don't have to wash it or anything. But otherwise, if I haven't done my research, I generally just don't get it. We got peat. We got one of those like 1 cubic feet, 1.5. One of those. No, it's 1.5 cubic. It's like it's a full 3 cubic feet. It's one of those big.
The bales.
Yeah, one of those big 3 cubic foot bales.
They like bust out to like 7.
The back of it is a ProMix product, or it's used in ProMix or something. It's the green peat. I've been using it for years. The same green peat I've always been using. But that stuff is what maybe ProMix is made out of. That maybe they use that specific peat, or it's the same company, et cetera, et cetera. One of those bags will last me for a really long time, though, if I'm just using it out in my outdoor garden. We only got it because we had blueberries. I otherwise usually don't even use that kind of stuff unless I'm building pots. And if I'm making pots, I use cocoa because you don't have to amend the peat with like limestone or anything to raise the pH. So if you're using peat, right, as a moisture retention, you're going to want to add lime or oyster shell or some method of pH balancing, because peat is going to have a lower pH. It's like in like the 5 range. If you're working with cocoa buffers pH a little higher. It's in the 6 range. So cocoa, generally, you don't have to add anything. But if it's a poor quality cocoa and it's high in salt and other stuff, that EC might lower your pH. So it might not actually be the cocoa. So you can use one or the other, if you want cocoa, for whatever reasons, you don't normally, it's a much easier product to work with. It does retain moisture a little bit better and oxygen. It moves oxygen a little bit better. I think peat retains moisture a little bit better, one or the other. But peat's, from my understanding, peat is also, I don't want to get this wrong because a lot of people have issues with peat, but from my understanding, peat can be mined responsibly, and it is a renewable resource that it's a bog product that continuously gets created. I think that the issues are the sourcing and some other stuff. So
we also got it for houseplants because houseplants like more acidic soil.
Yeah.
So we
using it for
I
acidity.
potted up some like big monsteras, like this guy here.
I love
blueberries. We're using peat on like our berry plants, strawberries, blueberries, blackberries, some stuff like that. And also like pine, adding a pine and stuff to it. But if you were like making something potted, peat's going to be difficult for cannabis. You're going to want to add a buffer to it. The pH of buffer wrong. So cocoa is a much better source for cannabis growing, if that's what you're.
Oh man, I'm a big fan of peat and for cannabis too. I've grown both.
Do you use peat without adding a buffer and then re-amend it some other?
Well, no, I mean I do amend, but my calcium comes from
calcium. Okay,
comes
calcium
from
helps raise.
Yeah, it's gonna buffer everything when I put that limestone in there, or not limestone. I usually use gypsum, but same thing. That calcium is gonna help to bring that pH back to neutral, or closer to neutral, I should say. It's gonna bring it up.
Yeah, so there's a lot of soil recipes, and you'll see limestone used, right, in peat, and some people will swap cocoa for peat in the recipe because of whatever reason. Maybe it's sourcing, maybe it's.
Well, peat has a better cation exchange, so it does have a little bit better nutrient exchange rates.
It's kind of why I like ProMix. Even though I don't use ProMix, it's like a blend. It's like a cocoa peat blend. And it's also amended. It's already pre-amended and everything with
pre-washed or whatever, pre-buffered or whatever.
Buffered, yeah.
I used that for a very short amount of time, like way back. I'm laughing at this is a little bit back in chat now, but Dankman Dan said he bought a bag of perlite in 2018 and he's still using it. The first time I ever tried to clone, and we're talking like a decade or more ago at this point, I tried to clone directly into perlite for some reason. It did not work. It did not work. Just FYI.
Directly into perlite.
Directly into perlite.
I thought you meant peat. Yeah, perlite.
No, perlite.
I'd imagine that was difficult to keep a moisture.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
probably the problem. I just, I had no idea what I was doing. Again, first time I tried to clone.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Certainly much better ways.
That was just an experiment. Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, I might have heard it on, some forum or Reddit or something. I'm sure it wasn't my original idea, It just wasn't a good one.
Just like a thick layer of it, and you just like stuck them in there.
So I think what I did, to be quite honest with you, Becca, is I took a handful of solo cups, cut slits in the bottom like you normally would if you were planting into solo cups or transplanting into solo cups, filled them up with perlite, put my clone in between them, and then put them in a standard plant like saucer, also filled with perlite, just so I could have some like moisture, like water there. But it wasn't enough to like, the plants weren't getting there. There weren't, there just wasn't enough moisture, I imagine, now looking back. But it was solo cups in perlite or with full of perlite and a bed of perlite inside of a plant saucer. Like, I don't know what I was thinking, but it didn't work.
We've put them in like a cube. What are those cubes called?
Like a root rye cube or
Rockwell cube.
Okay.
And then we put perlite around that.
I've seen people take a clone tray. I've seen people just take a clone tray, fill it with sand, and then get that wet, and then put your cuttings right in there. And then after X amount of days, when your clones root, you can just kind of pull it off, and the sand doesn't really. You can just rinse the sand off the roots, and boom, there you go.
That's
and that
crazy.
sand holds a lot of moisture.
Yeah, that's similar. Oh, go ahead, Tara. Sorry.
Did not work. Just taking cuttings and plucking them into soil. I tried that just to see what would happen for shits and giggles. That did not work.
With or without clone gel or rooting hormone of some sort.
I don't remember.
I would say even more important than that is your moisture level.
So that
just ensuring that it's moist.
I'm thinking I just shoved them into soil just to see what would happen, and I don't think I used anything at all.
Did you keep them watered?
I did. Yeah.
I
kept the soil nice and good, and they were dry. And it was all my normal environments. But
how long did you wait until you called it?
It was just a couple of days. It's all it took. They went immediately.
Oh, they flopped over. Interesting.
Oh yeah, immediately.
Sounds like they weren't getting enough water if that was the case. But it's probably
they needed a dome, maybe.
I don't know.
I've done it right. I've done it straight to the soil plenty of times and it was successful.
So I could have done that, but I try not to give them too much water when they're that little because I don't want them to get deadened off in that.
Mm-hmm. It can go both ways for sure.
But it's worked so far in my root riots and my Grodan, so that's the way we're going.
I think one of the common mistakes if you're going straight into soil, actually it doesn't matter what it is, going straight into anything, is that if you make a large hole with the stem as you're going in and you don't go back through and make sure that there's a good connection there, air gets down there and you still get the air embolism. And it kills your plants. So when going into anything, even like the sand I was talking about, make sure you push the stuff back around the stems and make sure that air can't get down back in there. Because
Spartan, this is a good lesson for a lot of different things, because I had this conversation with some staff members and techs over at I still call them Best Value Vax, but Building Vision and Variety, shopbvv.com, whatever, the supplier of my equipment, basically. I was talking to them about a few different things recently, and I was asking them about their nylon socks that they have. The nylon socks essentially is a material sock that goes inside of the column, and you can stuff this sock full of your live or your fresh frozen, your cured material or trim, whatever you're putting. And it's an easy way to just slip it in and out of your column, right? To quickly, swap columns, clean it, and just faster turnaround, right? The problem is, he's like, we've tried 3-4 different, brands of and styles of these nylon socks. The problem is if you don't fill them, basically pack these socks inside of a column, then you're going to get this air gap around it. And if you get this, just even a slight, like even a millimeter gap around and between the stainless steel and the material sock, not all, but much of your solvent will just shoot right through your entire column. And so what that means is it's bypassing all this material. It's not soaking it. It's not, soaking the trichomes and dissolving them and bringing them along. So you end up having this super low return rate. Now my immediate thought was, all right, either buy an extra column or like a PVC, maybe not a PVC pipe, but like, some sort of pipe that you could fill up, like a stainless steel pipe or something cheap that you could fill up that's the same size, and you just, slide the sock in. So it's the same inner diameter of your your materials column, or however you might need to do it, or freeze it inside of a column, transfer it, whatever. Multiple socks, multiple columns. There's ways to do it, right? But ultimately, it's like, yeah, if it's not a perfect fit, you're probably losing out on something. When it comes to something like extraction, it could be your ROI, and when it comes to something like cloning, it could be the vitality or the the health or the life and death scenario of a plant. So yeah, it's just that reminded me of a conversation I had recently, and it's funny how those things are so connected.
Yeah, and sometimes it's just like it takes. What I love about these shows is it takes, we're all growers, right? And so we can just talk about a situation we had, and you get all those extra sets of eyes on a problem, and it helps you look at things that you just would never have thought of. And it might be something that something that you think you figured it out, or you're just struggling to figure out what the hell the problem is. It's awesome to just come on here and say such and such, this is what I'm going with, and somebody can say something, you can think, oh yeah, I didn't even think about that, and you can go try it. And
honestly, you saying that about the rock hole and the bigger hole, like in like a Jiffy Cube or something that I'm pushing into like a preformed slot, it's kind of stuff it in there, especially if it's like a good healthy size clone. The stem is big, it's gonna get compressed around it eventually, right? Especially if I get it wet or whatever. That said, I did use one of those grow down. I gotta get a bigger. It's like a 4 foot wide slab. One of those Grodan slabs that they have. It's like 4 inches tall.
Yep.
They're like 4 feet wide. I just poked a ton of holes in there one day, and it's because I had a couple extras, and stuck a ton of clementine clones in there, and I just poured water over the top, kept it going for weeks and weeks. And all of a sudden I'm like 3-4 weeks in, I'm just like, these things, are they even rooted? I have no idea. Should I cut this thing open? They don't really seem like they're growing at all. Should I add nutrients? It was like a whole big, again, testing different ways to clone. But ultimately, guys, it was unsuccessful. and it's not because it's not a viable way of cloning. It's just, I was doing an experiment. I certainly didn't do it the right way. And looking back at it, there's a lot of things I could have done different. But honestly, one of them might have just been poking too big of a hole to start. Like, it really could be something as simple as that, especially when it's this giant slab and it's not this little tiny cube that I can kind of compress back together. I would have had to like taken, I don't know, something to form it all back and squeeze around those stems, because rock wool is like it's almost like Play-Doh. Like, you can really kind of like push.
You can pinch around the stem and just kind of.
So I've never used rock wool, but I thought it didn't hold much other than a little bit of moisture.
Holds a lot of moisture.
Oh, it does? Okay.
Oh, they say like 4 times the amount of cocoa, I think.
Okay, that is a lot then, yeah.
My old trick was just to like not even squeeze them out, because they would hold a lot of moisture. And like, if you squeeze them, they get really dry really fast too. So you kind of just like pull them out of like a soaking, saturating bucket, and while they're like dripping, you just shake it once, twice, and like a slighter third one, whoop, whoop. And then like, that's kind of it. And like, that's how much water you get rid of those things. Any more than that and they'll dry out. Otherwise, they stay very well. So they can be oversaturated. If you don't do that, they'll just be really wet. But that's the key, is to like make them feel like they're getting fed, and they'll stay happy. You just do that for a few days.
Correct me if I'm wrong, you commercial growers, but the commercial growers I know that were growing in those Grodan blocks, maybe like 6-inch cubes, something like around that size, they were doing like 7, 8, 9 shots a day of feedings. Like, that's how often.
Yeah, a lot of them have the full. A lot of the Athena guys run rock wool, and that's how. Yeah, they all have that system that's hooked to, I guess, a Troll Master, and
or like
it's got a moisture meter that goes into the thing, and yeah, so they can do. I've heard some of them are doing 20 a day. 20 shots a day. It's like, well, that's awesome. It's like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I just go to something.
Seems like a lot of times for failure, a lot of times for
More moving
unevenness.
parts.
Yeah, but it's like the whole. Do you want to build a dragster? And the thrill of it is it's going to either fail spectacularly or it's going to succeed spectacularly. and the just the general idea behind the shorter feedings and the multiple feedings in one day is when you're, especially when you're using sprayers and automatic feeding, that water is sprayed in little droplets and falls through the air and picks up oxygen. And honestly, the point to where the water that you're feeding your plants has the most oxygen in it is when it's being introduced, when you water it. And by giving many of these waterings, you're always introducing highly oxygenated water, which is good for the roots. It's good for everything. It also pushes everything through that's been sitting there for a while, where the oxygen is dissipated out of the water. So it's always replacing into the root zone this highly oxygenated water. But at the same time, I mean, this is micromanagement to its ultimate here.
Yeah.
I can't think of the gosh, it's killing me because I've worked with these machines multiple times. Rhythm. Are you guys familiar with the Rhythm? I know I brought it up on the show. I probably should pull it up on screen share here. It's this giant AI computer, like from the 1970s looking thing that basically controls your entire grow, and down to the zone, to the grow room, to the table, to the how much shots per. It's just madness, but it's a computerized irrigation system. It's really cool. Maybe you can share it, Bake, to probably be able to pull it up faster than I can.
I was thinking you meant 7 basic principles, the law of rhythm. But yeah, I don't know it as
Is it for growing?
Yes, rhythm irrigation.
Rhythm CSS.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I think so.
I think this is it.
Yeah.
But after this, I want to talk about these fucking microbes chats going on about.
There you go.
It's an interesting product somebody brought up.
So yeah, these
That's it.
Yeah, so there you go.
Look at this shit. Look at this shit.
Right. So we've installed these in a couple like 30,000 square foot type facilities, and these are like tens of thousands of dollars. But they're gonna irrigate. I mean, it's just.
So wait, hold on, because we pretty much have similar thing. I just don't know what this is.
Right.
I don't know what this is.
And that's the computer.
You have that.
So that's unnecessarily big then.
Yeah.
Because
okay, so
could be the size of that screen in the middle.
It depends on your setup, because that if you go down, you scroll down the single batch thing. So see how that is gonna. So that's where all of your nutrients will be pulled from, right below that thing too. Like you can have your jugs, say of I don't know.
Yeah, I see how they did. That's why they did it.
Yeah, so that's why it's kind of like the main platform is that, but then you got all of your like actual.
But essentially, like here, look, they've got dosatrons. That's what we have, and that's what they're showing here is their own brand of dosatron.
A little bit smaller, it looks like.
Pull them from your nutrients, your concentrated nudes.
Yeah, it's got.
So this is going to be like a 12.
The computer figures it out.
Where you've got like.
Well, let's see, tanks right next to it.
But these are probably flower room 1, 2, 3 or something like that.
So this would be your entire irrigation.
We have our reses right in front of the room. So, but I've noticed most big corporations are doing it like this, where they have a centralized irrigation room.
Right.
You know why that is? Big?
Plumbing, dude. Fucking plumbing, man.
Well, it's the plumbing, but it's also that you can HVAC this room and keep everything nice and cool. Well, because those hallways are warm.
The thing about
we're not trying to keep shit cool. That's our problem right now. Everything's 55 fucking degrees.
Guys, try to think about retrofitting this. Like most of this is done underground. You know what I mean? So that you don't like ever have to really see it. It's just like kind of like what's in that room that you're gonna see. But if you're building this after you've already got like the building kind of set up, or you want to install something like this, like it's going to take a lot of extra. So maybe this isn't the best.
That's cool. They're reclaiming their condensate.
Dude,
so there's some sort of system.
Yeah, it's
interesting. I wonder if these are custom ROs here.
I don't know where they're at. I haven't met with them probably in the last year. So I'm sure they've got extra things now, but
that's a dab pump. I'll tell you that right now.
They're gonna put everything together for you. They essentially are.
Can I go through this door? Oh, here we go. Oh, nice. Yeah, so you could do like this would be a cool little setup.
Spot.
Maybe like a grow, maybe like twice the size of mine. That would make this like pretty.
Again,
cool.
we're talking like probably $50,000 to just get this thing
50
going.
or 15, sir.
No, 50. 50
Yeah, for
for
just
like
a single batch.
for like to plumb it all and everything, and like have
Oh
that
well,
like
yeah,
balloon set up. And,
yeah. That's a little
yeah,
pricey,
I think if you just
but
want a
it's
single batch, I bet you probably
yeah.
pay like 30 grand for it. But
I
it's
wouldn't be that. That's what I'm saying. Twice the size of my place, my house place, and that'd be cool. But
whoa, wait, what? For the twice the size of your house, you get something like this? I thought you were talking
my
about a
house
commercial
grow.
facility. Bro,
Yeah, I wouldn't.
I wish.
This. I don't know. For 30 grand, I don't know how much we pay for ours, but at work. But
I have no idea how much the dosatrons are, but I feel like those are a much more probably affordable system. It's a little bit less tailored, I think, but
yeah,
it's kind of more
you
like,
can't go into their grow room. So
well, yeah, that would be illegal.
that's
You don't have
cool.
to
This is a
pass.
cool little 3D thing they let you do. So yeah, that's interesting.
But hey, like, I'm not involved with these guys other than just like working with them in the past, but I was very impressed with what they got. Their UI and whatnot needed a lot of help.
Request a quote, should I?
I mean,
Do you want them to bug you for the rest of your life?
Yeah, no. I made that mistake with a cocoa company once at that Canacom we went to. And yeah, they bugged me for a while.
dude, I still
But
have so many vape pen companies hitting me up like almost on the weekly. Let's call it the monthly at this point, but it's like, guys, it's been a year since I made any vape pens. Like, I don't.
yeah,
Where's this coming from?
sometimes they don't do their research. 5 minutes till hash
Becca,
time. There's
Becca,
some
what are you
research.
eating?
Yeah, I'll be right back.
Whoa!
Yeah, I think we did see that. What did she say?
Whoa! We didn't even last 56 minutes.
We don't know her
You told us
willpower, I
something
think is
about
what she
will
said.
and you slammed that shit down.
butyric acid.
No, the thing is,
butyric acid.
I just need to get rid of them. Like, I don't
That's-
want it here.
That's exactly what
That's
a
what I
crackhead
say.
would say. The thing
That's what
is,
I say too.
that's
That's
how
what I
they
say
started.
too.
The thing is, I had to smoke it.
I can't just flush it down the toilet. I gotta smoke it.
Yeah, why would I get rid of the crack
It
when I can just use it now and then it'll be gone? Okay,
certainly won't turn it
I don't
in.
want to waste it.
that's the Reese's.
It was a gift for this lovely holiday, and
Becca,
No shame, no
congratulations for
shame.
embracing life. I'm
Yeah.
proud of you.
I just gotta take some insulin. It's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
dose it up.
Thanks for living life. I like that. I like that. That's a good example.
I'm gonna eat them. I could have not eaten them, but then I'm gonna eat them later. So
Could you?
I just thought it was interesting that we were going to witness your willpower, and it wasn't very long.
well, I
Yeah.
was gonna notice. Honestly, it's hoping
Okay.
the
You should
screen.
have just let. Yeah. I should have fucking made the screen big.
It's
I didn't even notice. I'm glad somebody called it out. Oh, but yeah, we so Chad's was talking about
We're
some
approaching halftime too, so be
yeah,
wary
we're
of the
approaching
3-minute
match.
mark.
Yeah, I'll let you guys dab while I talk. We got 3 minutes. I think Fergoli's getting an instrument.
I'm
But
gonna get me some
BioSafe, they're talking about microbes to add for cloning and just use in general.
I saw a
Dirty
video
brought
from-
up BioSafe system, which I use their Sufoil X. It's for any pests, IPM. And I
Yeah.
didn't know they had micro products and stuff like that.
Yeah, Zeratol you also use, or Regalia, or you guys don't use Regalia.
No, I want to use Regal. I think you spray that though, so we can at work. It's something. Because I remember looking into that. I like the
Yeah, it's a
idea of
spray. It is
Regalia.
a spray.
Yeah, but we definitely use Zeratol. That's a PM deterrent. But yeah, so he brought up this TerraGrow, which is interesting. It's got that he was talking about the I can't even pronounce that. Bacillus ambulo something.
Amblyopsis or something.
But that's, I guess, a main one in it. But yeah, it's 138 bucks. I don't know. I use Great White. He was saying that's expensive. I think it's pretty cheap because you only need a tiny, tiny dusting. But I don't know. Sometimes I wonder if it matters. The only ones I stay away from are the single ones. Like Azos or one of those ones from that company is a single microbe. So it's like I try to get the ones that are just a bunch of microbes. This one looks to be about 6 or 5 strains, it says. But I guess I don't know. I've never seen this product. I don't know if it's new, but check it out.
What is it for?
If
What was it? The target? What's the purpose of that particular product?
it's a microbe for everything. I
For
guess
helping
he's
with
saying
cloning?
plant growth, vigor, and yield. So it's
Okay.
just a microbial inoculant,
Maybe a
wettable
nitrogen
powder,
fixer.
and you can get 4 pounds of it, a tub. It looked like for $100. So that's kind of a lot. I would think because microbes go a long way if they're working. There's that Mac 1. But yeah, so I don't know. I'm always interested in new microbes because Tribius, or no, what's that company that makes Tribus?
Tribus.
Yeah, but the company's called. I thought it's called something different.
Thought it was Tribus. But
You guys
So,
ready for this?
Impello Bio.
You're right. Thank you.
Here's
It's
everybody.
Impella Bio. They just came out with a new. Ooh. I
Pick up your babies.
I already got yelled at once for it, Becca.
That's
one with you.
that's gotta be a drum.
Oh shit! Yeah, I just showed these.
Now more extra points if you can name the type of drum.
Yeah, what type of drum specifically?
A marching band drum.
I mean,
Not wrong.
yeah, not wrong.
I
Not
don't know
wrong.
its real name.
Was it it wasn't the snare.
No, it's not the snare
No,
drum.
were they quads?
A
Were they
hand
quads? They what are the 4 quad drum? I forget they call it.
You're
bong.
you're getting
I always
there.
call them
I
quads.
love
That's not what they call
Let's
them.
Be Buds.
It's
A bongo, that's the
it's
worst.
not a bongo. That'd be very high pitched, smaller ping pong kind of thing. Yeah. This is Spartan's close. I've never heard him called a quad. He's right in that it's one of the tom toms is what those are called, and that was the floor tom. So this is the one that typically sits on the floor to the right, kind of opposite of these
Next to
snare
the bass.
drums.
Oh, opposite the snare.
Yeah,
Okay.
so typically you have your snare on your left over here and your toms on your right, and then you got those two up, front cymbals, and then your bass is on the front and the center. Yeah, drum talk. I don't know. It's been a while.
Well,
That's fun.
The
yeah.
first-
I feel like it was one of those that I see marching band.
Yeah, they definitely have them. Like, so actually, the quad. Now that I think about it, those marching band wise, they often have those 4 toms across their belt, and those are like, they're not that big. They're a lot smaller than that. Typically even sometimes smaller than the ones you'll find on a drum set, but you get, man, those are real fun to play.
Those are the ones I was thinking. I was thinking it was those drums. So it was marching, but it was still the 4 drums that you strap to your waist. They flip up. I see them up at MSU. They have a guy wearing one of those, and 4 of the other percussion guys basically hold him upside down, and he does his drum solo upside down. That's pretty dope.
That's cool. I'm gonna have to look up that video. I'm not gonna lie, I was like geeked out for Drumline when that came out, like, I don't know, whatever, 12 15 years ago, something like that, but like it's been made fun of so much since that I don't tell too many people about that. I don't know if it's just me, but
I always wanted to be really good at the drums, but like I never had them, so I never practiced. But I always thought like that'd be pretty cool if I could just do that.
I mean, a drum circle, right? Like that's like it's like the instrument of our culture, I feel like.
We've got some drums.
I've always wanted drums. I got an electric drum set, but I got older and bought the house. But
Papa Red didn't want to hear that.
no, was never allowed to have them in the house. We had neighbors that had them in the garage, and I think that's why I wasn't allowed to have them, because they could hear the neighbor horribly banging away these bam, 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 like for years when I was growing up. I'd just sit back there and just listen. I'm like, yeah, dude, yeah.
Garage bands, dude.
Dude's
Have
going
your
to
joints?
town. Yeah, garage bands, man. Dude,
Did that get killed with like the introduction of Rock Band with like the PS3 and stuff?
must have been, man. I don't hear any garage bands riding through the neighborhood. They ride around the neighborhood and I don't hear any kids jamming in the garage.
Or was it SoundCloud? Like what? I don't. Yeah, I had so many friends growing up that were in like bands together and stuff.
I've done a garage band. I was in a garage band for like a summer.
Was that the thing of like the 90s and 2000s or something? Is that just over?
Played my guitar.
Depends if it's through Minecraft. If Minecraft can create a band for them, then maybe they will play.
I mean, AI, it's all going there eventually, so maybe they're just ahead of us old farts.
I rarely see kids outside playing. It's rare.
Hey, who you calling old fart? What are you talking about?
Yeah, I was out there playing today, Tara. What are you talking about?
But I'm glad you
That's a beat. That's because all the parents are too scared. There's so many fears out there. They don't let them outside.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
It's a double-edged thing.
I went to GameStop today and got so upset because I was trying to get this game for my DS because, okay, I'm old school. I still play the DS.
First of all, hold on. Don't go to GameStop.
Hey, don't you knock my
I had to go
GameStop.
to GameStop because they're the one that had the game that I wanted, and I've been looking for it even online. So they had it.
What?
Yes, they had it when I went home this weekend. And I was like, oh my gosh, I've got to get this. So I go there and I'm so pumped. I'm like, oh my gosh, they've got my game that I want. I'm just so excited. It's Super Mario 2, okay? I know it's old and everybody's probably played this years and years ago, but I'm ready to break into it. I get there and the guy's like, he first told me on the phone that it was compatible, but then when I got there and I showed him which DS I had, he's like, I was like, fuck.
That's an old one.
It wasn't that bad. It was
Wait,
like,
you're talking about for the 3DS?
Yeah, but I've got the one right. I've got the DSi, the XL DSi, and the one that I need that would be compatible with the 3D is the 2D one, which I don't have.
Just go buy that.
Yeah, well,
I'm so lost.
I got a Switch, so that's the other.
You can't just buy the Nintendo 3DS Super Mario Brothers 2.
No, you can get the old school stuff ported to your Switch if you have a Nintendo account. So then I was like all excited again because I was like, oh, I've got a Nintendo account. I can switch this to my Switch. I can port it. He's like, no DS games yet have been put onto the Switch. I was like, fuck.
Oh, yeah. Nintendo's crap these days.
Just look up emulator and you can just do it all on a PC.
I was going to say, yeah. I have such a grudge with GameStop.
Such a boomer.
There's how many children have they looked dead in the eye that have bought a game a week ago or a month ago and they're like, oh, 3 cents.
Well,
like,
well, if you want to trade
fuck
your
that company. The fact that they're still around after their crash annoys me.
What do you mean crash? You mean the frickin' the sneeze? Is that what you're talking about?
The kafoofle that where they weren't worth shit, but somehow they were worth a shit ton.
You mean like the breaking of the stock market in January 2021? Is that what we're talking about?
You mean the clear why stock market doesn't work? Yeah.
Yeah, the exposing of the SSE.
He's talking about the illegal stock trading
out there, including
through a valueless company or a company about to die.
He's talking about
only because they've been shorted into non-existent at like 700%.
No. They were about to die because of their crappy management and the fact that video games are going digital.
Or maybe because they had Boston Consulting Group installed. This is all allegedly, by the way. Trust me, I've spent a lot of time looking into this. Yeah. Diamond hands, baby. Woo!
You still have some?
No comment.
Oh my god. I bet you're on the Reddit too.
I don't have a Reddit.
Same one.
Okay.
I mean, technically, I think I do, but I haven't logged into it in like 8 years. But
yeah,
I don't know. Like, it just doesn't.
Tap time again?
No, I can't
so aggressive.
navigate the two, so I just stay away from both.
Tara, use Google to navigate Reddit. That's how I do.
Yes,
so like,
I was just gonna say that.
So if like, let's say you want to look up like
anything, just type in Reddit
anything
after it.
How to fix my plumbing on my sink? Reddit.
Seriously.
And then if it's something like video games, or something. Look at the date because Google will show you the date and make sure it's within like a couple of years.
Oh, my Maytag freezer, like whatever combo went out. Reddit.
I bet
I guarantee
people
you'll find
Maytag that went out, and yeah. And
It's
they're
not.
either
It's like
you're
the
either
new
gonna find
YouTube.
your answer of it's like it's an easy fix or it's
Yeah.
straight up take it back or
It's
whatever.
it's
But
kind of like a YouTube in that like it's gonna show you those how-tos, but it's probably gonna point you in the direction of the how-to. It's not gonna be the how-to. It might describe it in text or whatever, but it's also gonna give you a good resource. It's almost like having a search engine within a search engine, if that makes sense.
yeah, it's really weird. And then really Reddit's just a bunch of separated forum communities. Like
It's a way to get out of the algorithm. Honestly, if I'm thinking about it, it's a way to get outside of what Google wants to show you is the fix for the Maytag thing, right? And it's a way to find what real people are saying. The fix
yeah,
for the Maytag
that's why
thing.
I do it. It's a fine. Yeah,
Yeah.
I want to hear somebody that bought it or something dealt with it or worked on them or
Yeah,
something.
I don't have to know them. I don't have to trust them. They don't have to be some verified buyer or reviewer or anything like that. If they got enough attention, upvotes or responses, or I can make that like, intellectual, like,
Now there's those real redditors that that are on it and like they join all their communities and stuff and I guess use it that way, but I don't do that. I just Google with the keyword Reddit.
Yeah. No, it's
And
a
that
search engine
seems
for
to
me.
yeah. But that's all Reddit is. A
I
lot
like
of
how they're playing
cannabis
Mario in chat
communities
right
on
now.
there. Yeah, they're excited about your Mario game, Tara, which is actually just a game from like 1980.
I know it's not 1980, damn it, son of a bitch. Come on now.
Isn't it just a
1982.
rehash? It looks like it's just a remake.
No, dude. Not
Oh.
Mario Brothers 2 is like 1992 or.
Oh, okay, sorry, 90s. Yeah.
It's a little. I think it's even a
Oh,
little
sorry,
more
10 years off.
than like 98.
You know the funny thing is,
It could be 2000. Now,
I
come
feel
on.
like if you bought that game for your SNES or NES, whatever it was, you should have the rights for it for whatever. So you shouldn't have to buy it again.
I've got an
Well, for
emulator
that
that I get it
It's
for free.
fun, man. You can
Right,
like, pick up
exactly.
little loaves of bread and throw them, and little beets, and like all the little beets running around. Loaves of
What's
bread
that?
are cute. What's with the little loaves of bread? That's a weird character, but that's cool, man. It's not mushrooms and stuff, but it's loaves of bread and beets and turnips, and that was kind of fucking.
What are you talking about? That's in
Mario,
Mario?
2, yeah, Mario 2. They're little turnips. You're
Uh,
they're little like leaf. Everything is a leaf, and you can pick them up, dude. Pick them up, and throw them. They're points, and you can pick them up and throw them.
I
There's
don't.
little
What?
bread people. There's little bread monsters walking. There's like ghost bread monsters.
What?
Dudes from the plague. Yeah, there's like bread monsters wearing like plague masks. It's fucking wild,
Oh,
dude.
yeah. You're right.
They're wearing
The
those,
Mario Eats Bread 2.
I'm
the
looking for the
Stupa
bread guys.
Amazing sequel.
I see a shy guy. And I see the play guy you're talking about.
Yeah, see the plague guy?
Oh yeah, there's the turnips.
Yeah. It's
Yeah, I
super
forgot
fun,
about
dude. Mario
those.
2's it's a fun game, dude. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
not easy
That's why I
either.
wanna
It's
play
a
it.
difficult one.
Damn it. No.
You're right, Tara.
So did you get it or not?
I did not get it because my is not compatible, and I did not want to trade in my DS for another one because
You can't just.
I have pictures on it, and they're like pictures.
Well. First of all, Tara, that's an
So-
absurd idea to trade in your console for a single game just because it's not working.
I was going to trade it in for a new DS that would play the game that I want.
Oh, I thought you had a new one and it wouldn't play because it was old or something.
Yes, it's older.
I'm so lost on the handhelds
Dude,
these
same.
days. I'm like,
I still have
I'll straight up admit I'm boomer on that.
Yeah.
Like the DSs have gone every which way. I
Well,
feel
see,
like.
I originally was going to buy this game like a few years ago, and they talked me out of it and talked me into a Switch because they told me all of the Nintendo stuff is being put online. So if you get a Switch, you'll be able to eventually play it. So it's now a few years later, and I still don't have access to the damn DS games I want.
Yeah.
It's
I
the
just like
post.
that's my Mario games. That's all I play. Mario and Tetris. That's as far as I go.
I just watched the Tetris movie. We almost didn't have Tetris. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
No.
The communists almost kept it.
Patented it.
Well, it was made in Russia, and what's cool?
I was just gonna say, you mean the inventors were gonna keep it? Damn, how American of them.
No, the inventor wanted to let it out. He got in trouble when he first made it because we're talking. If you remember those black and green text screens, he made it and I guess gave it out to. He was, they work in government buildings, and he let it get out. And next thing he knows, he has a knock on the door, and it's like the KGB or somebody intimidating, and they're like, "Hey,
You should not have made this.
yeah, your game
No
is
fun
distracting the
extended
entire
production.
nation from work." Because apparently everyone in offices all over the country was playing it,
Is that
so
what
that kind of shut it down for a little bit. But it had
Distracted workforce.
gotten to a bunch of crooked businessmen to get out. But a bunch of shit happened where like Russia was like, no, we want money, and then I don't know, but it's an interesting movie to see that like all
Like a
that happened.
doc on
This
Netflix or
this
something?
American guy, he had
Yeah,
to
yeah.
work with Russia
It's like a
to
movie.
like be like, no, this is a fair deal, and blah blah. And Nintendo was backing that guy, and all right when the Game Boy was coming out.
What
and
what platform is that on currently?
Tetris.
No, whatever movie.
Oh, I think I looked it up. It was Apple TV.
Yeah, I'm
Apple
not
TV.
sure. I've seen
I
it.
saw it
Yeah,
on
which
Netflix.
I don't. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't. Yeah.
They
But
probably
know what I do have? Toot toot, we're sailing the pirates. No one gets it.
Popeye the Sailor Man? No. What?
No.
Toot toot.
The Bay of Pirates.
Don't even know.
Nope. I didn't have that game. Or is that a
Holy
game or something?
Shit, guys.
What are you talking about? Tell us.
Just explain it. Don't
Pirate
just...
Bay? Have you never heard of? Do you?
Oh,
my God.
Pirate Bay. I haven't been there in a minute. I mean,
You're talking about the download app where you could get free music?
Is it an app now?
well,
I
no,
just
that was
like-
Well, not an app,
LimeWire. You're talking about
website.
LimeWire, Red.
There's
No,
like-
wasn't an actual
I would go to a
program.
website
Napster?
called Pirate Bay and I would download music and shit.
Yeah, it's just a website though that would connect you with
Oh.
torrents.
And what? And then it would
I don't
go
think we
with
should even talk
LimeWire?
about that.
Yeah, that's what
though.
I'm saying. I was trying to be all nonchalant about it. And all of a
Oh
sudden-
yeah, but you can't do that. We have a guy at work that does that, and you can't bring something up and then be like, blah, 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 blah.
Are you not? Why,
I'm not
why
gonna
are you
talk
supposed to
about
talk
it.
I mean,
it?
I'll tell
Then
you.
bring it
it's
up
just
so
like-
everyone's like, what?
Isn't that from the 90s?
I know.
Isn't that from
No.
that was
No,
Napster.
they got taken down like 5 years ago. Believe it or not, that was it.
Which
Who,
one?
LimeWire or
No,
Pirate
Pirate Bay.
No, they're still around. What are you talking about?
I would not be going to their website for Girly. I don't care what new website they have for Girly. Do not go to that. They definitely got taken down.
Now
You have
you
to
know.
I have several new DM me later.
No, I understand that like they got taken down. I'm just saying there's always new ones popping up. Just put it that way. There's always
Not Pirate Bays.
There's always
There's
pirates
Pirate
sailing the
Bay.
seas.
Oh yeah, but yeah, Pirate Bay is still up. You can go to it, but don't people. Like
What?
it's a
What?
trap.
What's it for?
Yeah, now you're not telling us the whole story.
It's a trap. I'm telling you, it's a trap
Well, for
because
sure.
the owners
It's
got
all a
taken
trap,
down.
Yeah,
But
what's
the
his name?
website's still
Kim.com
up.
or whatever,
That should tell
something.
you everything.
Do they sell pirates?
They do not, because I would be loaded with pirates.
Okay, what is it then?
Do they
These
rent
are like
them?
downloading websites, so you can download movies, songs, video games, all that.
software. Yeah.
Yep, all that. It's like, do you remember LimeWire?
Yeah.
So
No, she
LimeWire
doesn't.
was
Do you remember Napster?
Yep.
I mean, I know what it is. I
Oh,
don't
you're such a
remember.
young buck.
well they were I forgot. Yeah, they were just download programs. They went away, and then the Pirate Bay came out. But it's just peer-to-peer sharing. It's
Peer-to-peer,
actually a
there you go.
community. It's the whole idea of peer-to-peer sharing is really just like free knowledge and stuff like
The
that.
idea of the internet in the first place. basically.
Exactly. It's people. Oh, I bought the DVD. I'm putting it up here. Grab it if
it's
you want.
decentralized internet, whereas right now we're on a centralized internet. Like Amazon runs like 80% of the entire internet on their
Yeah.
servers, right? So it's
Yeah.
like, whatever
AWS.
is going through the internet is going through them. And in fact, then we have international or intercontinental cables, right? And so all it takes is you to be able to run that one cable that transmits all the data between the United States and Australia, or the United States and Europe, or whatever it might be. And now you're, running the show. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like we're going down a rabbit hole, but it's too early. This is not the Late Show. Tomorrow,
Yeah.
11 o'clock Eastern time.
Yeah. Check us out on the Late Show. Well, maybe we'll bring some of this up. Anyways, I know.
Petty Red. There he is. They made it safely.
Oh, they must have. Yeah.
That-
Cheers.
Cheers, Daddy Red.
Happy Easter.
Love
Happy
y'all.
Easter.
So, Terry, you want to talk about? I don't care, whichever. You got two situations going. You got a Hermes situation at the same time. You got a power outage,
When
but
do I
not
a
city
situation?
power outage.
So I don't want to say it was a power outage. We've got a power-ish. We got an electrical problem. How
Yeah.
about- yeah, we got an electrical problem. We've got too much power going upstairs in the area, and I don't know, something between me taking a shower, putting the space heater on, and we moved a plant that hurt. So that's the thing. So it's kind of a trickle down. We had a plant that harmed, and I did not want to kick it because it was so beautiful. And I just, kept thinking in my head, well, I can just pick the seeds off or whatever comes off of it and it'll be perfect. But then I was like, also, I can't risk it, getting to my chems right now or any of the other things that I'm pheno hunting. So I was like, I got to get it out of there. But I still just didn't want to cut it because she's so pretty. Because I've got 3 phenos of this strain and this is the 3rd one. And it's the prettiest out of all 3. So I was just like, ugh. So we tried to put it in a different situation, in a different area with a different light. And I'm not electrical at all, but I'm assuming there's just way too much power being pulled from a certain area. So that being said, that all happened at 5 o'clock this morning when we were trying to get ready before I went home to Cincinnati for Easter with my family. And so, yeah, I have a plant that harmed that got kicked. And now that plant if I would have just gotten rid of it and then kicked it out the house and been done with it, we might not have had this electrical problem this morning. But because I tried to save a plant, this is where we're at. So we've got a couple areas that don't have power, a couple electrical sockets that don't have power.
Did you blow a fuse or blow a breaker? Or
That's the thing. We've been through all the fuses a few times and everything's coming up fine that's getting touched. So that's where we're back to. We're not too sure because I ultimately think that as soon as I plug the space heater in, because I was pretty much done with my shower and then it went out. So it wasn't an immediate thing as soon as I plugged the space heater in, because I thought that was ultimately the culprit. But
do any of the plugs in either of the rooms have the little push buttons on it?
No.
Okay. Sometimes the GFI will trigger an entire line
of those. That's another thing we were worried about, that maybe something's gotten past us and got caught on fire or burnt or something like that. But so far,
that's weird. So how many electrical outlets aren't working? The whole line?
No, that's the whole thing. It's a bedroom light, a closet light, a fan that's running off of the 1 bedroom socket, and the bathroom light and is not working. And that's it. But it's just all on the 3rd floor. Oh, and the porch light. So
Yeah, I was talking to Nuttree. He said, Red, that all the breakers are fine. So it's he doesn't know there's some sort of weird sub panel somewhere, even though he's looked everywhere or something. So yeah, that is a
Red was
weird
having
situation.
was having a weird electrical issue, and I was wondering if there was a sub panel somewhere too.
I told him, I was like, what about your attic or somewhere?
He's got a light that's
Somebody
not
was like,
on.
I'm gonna do it up here. And
he went all through the attic, looked around, took video of that, didn't see anything that looked bad or problematic or anything like that. So, and then again, as soon as we got home tonight, went through the whole system again, checking each breaker, pulling it, turning it off, putting it back in, that kind of thing. And we just can't find where the situation is. So I don't know. So ultimately, I just, when we first set the situation up upstairs, when we had to, because of the basement flooding, we had a problem with the power, too much going on. So we had to reroute a few things. So ultimately, I guess maybe it's just too much pulling. I don't know.
yeah.
So my question is, are you sure it's not the breakers if the lights aren't coming on though? If it's not coming on,
ultimately, we're not sure because
you're not able to tell if it's a break.
I mean,
because maybe it's a leg.
So like we went through and did like, pulled it for the stove, it came on, came off, that kind of thing. But the ones that we need to figure out, we can't figure out where they're attached to, I guess, which
I wonder if you got a brown. I wonder if you got a brownout on your.
I don't know. He said something about there's some like bus kind of thingies, or I don't know what you call them.
I had to get my pullout changed one time.
One quick thing you can do is if you have 15 amp breakers, you can swap them out with 20 amp breakers, and they'll give you a little bit more wiggle room on power. They fit in the same exact slots.
That's true.
You could have something going on with your pullout also.
Right.
All that juice sometimes causes brownouts, and you could have browned out your.
Are you guys full on spots?
On the outside of the house, the meter, the legs of the meter. Sometimes that gets fried, so to speak. I had that happen on our shop. We had to get a new meter put on.
Yeah, but you'd have to be running. She either has 100 or 200 amp panel in a house usually, so she'd have to be running 100 amps at one time.
I got a lot.
But like
not necessarily. It could have been a bad.
Well, yeah, if it's really old or something, or just
it's
all kinds of
me not
things.
having any knowledge at all.
80%.
A lot to me, so
yeah.
I think 80% could overheat, and it's heat too. It's a heat thing too. So
yeah, we got.
It might not just. It might like it's just general wear and tear, right? You know what I mean? Like it just because you're not pulling, 100 amps on the 100 amp breaker doesn't mean that 50 amps over time is not going to like wear out the connection, at the leg between the panel and the actual box or the pull out outside the meter that's actually feeding however many amps worth of power to your house, however many kilowatts worth.
Well, that's the thing. The rest of her house is running.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if her leg to the panel was fucked up,
it could be
her
a
whole
leg.
house would be out.
Yeah, a leg. Well, that's what I mean. Like maybe just that leg is those lights, and the other leg is the rest of the house. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's gonna go check. Also, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, any little bit helps because at this point, when you're not.
The panel,
and you're trying to do a home grow. These are the things you encounter. So we're like doing process of elimination.
Sounds like you need maybe you might have to get an electrician over there.
I know.
You might have to get somebody who knows that. And
the bad thing is, or I shouldn't say the bad thing, but the other area that we have that's outfitted for the grow is got the electrical system that we need to support this.
Yeah.
So,
and all your receptacles are working, like you're getting
problem. We've been, off-putted, so we'll figure it out here.
You're getting power like elsewhere, right? You're getting power on your sockets and stuff.
Yeah, got power everywhere else. I got power in 2 of the other bedrooms.
I don't know why this would happen. If something surged and you got a surge to your bulbs and all your bulbs blew, did you try changing one of those light bulbs of those lights?
Well, let's see. The socket is out in the bathroom. I know that. I know that's not running in the bathroom, and I know the socket in the bedroom's not running. So I don't know if that helps there.
Your sockets can burn out.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, what if like some reason there was a backfeed or something, and in those.
It could have. Oh my gosh! Remember it happened.
Those bulbs like burn out. You know what I mean?
In the camper. Oh my god! Yeah. So yeah, it could happen. And our luck, it could happen.
Well, no. Do you have a light bulb in the house, like a new light bulb? You could just replace one of those sockets with, and just to test to see if it's not a bad bulb scenario.
Yeah,
or a burnout bulb.
That too.
And then you can go from there. Because it's just being like lights. Yeah, that's workaround.
Well, I think she's talking about grow lights, right?
No, all our grow lights are working.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, all that's working.
Yeah, I mean, worst case scenario, you can run.
Oh, you were just running the Hermie under like a bulb?
Yeah, no, I was running it under my HLG 500 in just a different room. And I just think the way that we had it set up just maybe might have yanked too much power all the way and zapped it. Oh my God, if my light got zapped, I'll be pissed. Ooh,
Well,
I gotta
go take your light to
gotta
downstairs or
that
something.
shit
and
out
plug it
after that.
in.
Oh my gosh, that just dawned on me. Ooh, that had hurt.
So your LED went out and the light in that room, like a regular bulb, doesn't work.
No, so okay, so the LED because we had it in a closet in another room. The regular room light is working and the fan. It's whatever
So
we have.
you need to take that LED downstairs to a known good outlet,
Yeah,
plug that thing in, see if the LED works. If the
Mm.
LED does work, I would say the outlet might have just got burnt out. We
Yeah.
had them happen at work where just the outlets burn out.
Yeah, the
Um,
switches, your switches could burn out. You
Mhm.
should, if possible, just shut off your breakers. I mean, like
Yeah.
when it's nice and warm out tomorrow, just shut off your main and just start pulling switches out of the wall and just start looking at connections.
Okay.
You might have a bad connection somewhere, so the shit vibrates like crazy. Your house vibrates.
Yeah, I was gonna say I got an outlet over here. I just
Old
found out
house,
it's no
too.
good.
I would hate to take any.
Shut off that main. Just shut off.
Do you have any sort of electrical testing equipment, like one of those plugs or like a
like a bar meter?
no, like some like
A voltmeter. He's
yeah,
talking
a voltage meter.
about
Yeah, where you plug it in to see if you got any voltage.
wiggies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like double check the outlets and stuff before you. I
outlets.
don't know. I don't need to be giving anybody on this show advice, but like
Hey, like I just told you, I'm not electrical. I can grow plants, and that's all.
it's
Don't use a butter
terrifying.
knife.
But, you know, we all kind of have.
Foreign body.
I'm joking. Don't use a butter knife.
There are
Don't use a butter knife.
babies and people and that, but that's where the lines cross. No electrical for me. I don't even like starting the grill.
You can get these. I found these from my electrician real quick, and they're pretty neat because they show you the voltage, whether it's 240, 277, 120, and then they vibrate too if you're getting
haptic feedback.
Yeah, haptic feedback.
So they have a kit, and it's something I would recommend.
You can
It's
get
something,
those for like $30.
Yeah, and probably for $50 maybe you'll get a kit with like a little zipper purse. Comes with one of those. It comes with a 3-prong outlet that you plug in, or a plug that you plug into an outlet, and that shows you whether it's functioning or not, or if there's a fault or something. And then there's also this little pen, and that pen is what you can touch to the exposed wires that are coming out of your like coming off of your anything, like the lighting controllers, your breakers, your
anything electrical
breaker box. Yeah, basically anything. It's going to tell you if there's current going through there. Not necessarily.
Is that so that's the thing, you can plug into an outlet, go to the breaker, wand over each breaker, and it'll tell you which one.
Two separate items.
Because my electrician had that, and I was like, "That's how you find what breaker's still hot." That's so
those
cool.
are so cool. Yeah, those are really.
I was
cool.
like, that. It's probably expensive, but I want one.
They're not terrible. Those it's a I'm trying to think of the word. It's a continuity checker, continuity conductor, or something like that. But they use those in plumbing too, and so what we use them for in the past is you put them as a similar item or similar, I guess, mechanism on one end of a water pipe, and then you walk around essentially with a bigger wand in a yard, and you find out where that current is going through in the yard, and that will tell you where the water line is. So that's one way to like find out where pipes are and stuff underground if they're not marked by misdig, and they're not your utility and all that. But yeah, if you got water lines in your backyard or something, you got to find out. That's one way to do it too. It's similar kind of idea. But yeah, the things I'm talking about is totally separate items, but what you're talking about is also very useful. I don't know exactly what that's called though. I can't. Something like a continuity. I don't know. Someone in chat will probably get it, or you'll probably Google it faster than me.
Doing this kind of thing that we're doing at home should probably think about investing in something like that. It's a good thing to have around just for precaution. I mean, look where I am at this point, stuck, and I kind of don't know where I'm going. And so that way, if I had one of those things, I could at least start plugging things in and certain things and crossing one thing off and making a chart.
And it's a safety thing, if nothing else. Those tools that we were just talking about, those are $30, like you just showed, maybe $50 if you want to get the whole kit.
That $30 one is just a safety thing that you can literally check an outlet and be like, all right, it's not working.
Yeah,
or it's
I know that I
working.
can unscrew this
It's
plate
real
cover and
simple.
start stuffing my fingers in there.
They're
or a
rubber, so you know
screwdriver.
you're safe. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's all that is. But I like do yourself, but I think like not everyone has a electrician or a plumber dad or something that taught them everything or whatever. So like if you gotta get
Daddy
a
YouTube, is that what you
contractor,
mean?
yeah, hey, there's that. But like I also like I'll get a contractor once or twice and just like watch them
Hover.
or like try to learn from them. I don't hover, but like or like my electrician here, he's he's not he ain't licensed or anything like that, so I get to work with him. And so I learned a ton. So it's like now definitely with YouTube I can do and those tools and stuff like that I saw that he had, I can do a lot more. And I think in this day and age with the way inflation and all this crap goes is like more do it yourself the better. I think things are they're making things easier to do, but at the same time they're marketing you to get a contractor for certain things and it's like you don't need to. That's a plug and play. That's a
For sure.
it's
No,
like
Biggs, know what I found, especially, or maybe not especially, but throughout my growing career, man, these ears get really itchy. I think the wax is starting to come out. It's gonna maybe some Reese's up there or some M&Ms or something. But sorry, the fuck, I totally lost my train of thought. Okay, so one of the things I've learned through growing and being an unlicensed YouTube taught, like
yeah.
self-taught plumber, electrician, carpenter, like florist, like you name it, right? Like lab tech, whatever. All of those things, is most of the time, especially when it comes to things around the house, it seems like things you can do if you own a house and you need to
Yeah.
update something or change something or whatever. It seems like most of the time the cost of the job that you're going to get quoted is usually about the same cost of the tool that you need to do that job. So you
Yeah.
can afford that to pay someone to do that job, but you can also afford the time to do that job. Then you could probably afford the tool to do it and just the time to learn and do it yourself. And now you have the tools and the capability, the education, the experience to do it again in the future, whether it's for you or someone else, right? So it's just one way to build skills.
I've never laid rubble rock and laid a flat foundation. I watched my brother lay landscaping stones when I was like 12 years old, and he and my dad laid did some landscaping. My dad did straight line landscaping. I've never known how to level anything. And I did a level line when I had to do the chicken coop, and then I did this one. If I would have paid somebody to do the foundation, like the stonework and everything that I had to do, mine's barely professional. I'm using, some cobblestone at best, not even good boulders. Like it would have cost me $1,500 probably at least, just to lay in that 21A, flatten it out and fucking level it down and put blocks on it, and make a little ramp. That ramp would have probably been another $500 or some shit. You know what I mean? I did all that shit. I bought a tamper for $40. It's
Worth it.
Solid.
Thank you guys. Troy fixed us.
Oh, there it is.
I don't know what this
Fuses.
is, but it looks
Fuse.
old as fuck.
It's an old school fuse.
Yep.
Before breakers, I think. Is
So
what
I don't
they
know
use
where he
those
found this,
for.
but he said he switched it out with a new one and we're fixed. So
There you go.
thank you guys.
Nice.
Use it
Oh
up.
yeah.
Yeah, that
Good
looks
work,
tough.
Nuttree.
I could see a date on it, but I'm blind as fuck too now.
Saved at least a diagnosis fee at the minimum. So that's pretty cool.
Send it to you guys in flour.
Thank you, chat, for spitballing on diagnostics there.
Yeah.
That helps, Thank you. Appreciate it. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Just wanted to let you know that we got fixed.
That's fucking sweet.
That is sweet. Appreciate it.
It's awesome. I don't even remember what I was talking about. So roll.
Sorry.
You're just learning new
You
skills,
got your tamper
man,
tool.
Yeah.
Oh.
And that tamper tool is gonna last. If you ever need to do anything related now, it's like that's paid for.
It was your time and $40 plus the cost of materials. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
it was $100 to get the stuff there, and like another, I think, $20 in blocks. So I think like $130 in materials plus the tamper. Call it $100. Call it less than $200.
yeah.
Oh, I bought sand. There's a couple bags of sand. Call it
200.
Fuck it, call it $200.
200.
Fuck it, call it $200.
200
You got a
bucks.
greenhouse for a flat in your backyard, level, solid, gonna be there for a long time. Greenhouse, you know what I mean? For
Good solid foundation. Yeah.
and you got some broad,
The rocks
sexy,
we got for free.
yoked shoulders out of it. Arr!
Yeah. Look at these.
Doing.
Yeah, what?
We're going to the
God,
beach
the
this summer.
shoulders, man. They keep getting their shoulders.
I know you're ripped under there.
They're just shoulders.
Something tells me he has like an 8-pack under there. I'm telling you.
Oh, dude, it takes till August. No, it doesn't.
It takes till August. I feel that, man. It takes till August. Yeah, just to
No,
show one muscle.
the keg down there.
Hey, you know what they say? It's keg's more valuable than a 6-pack.
Quarter barrel. Quarter barrel. Quarter barrel.
So Spartan got a new little trinket, dab tool.
Oh,
I think
I
we
didn't
talked
get it,
about.
yeah,
You
when
want
I
to show
was,
that off?
I don't have it. I don't. I was. I was telling you. Are you talking about the thing I was telling you that me and Emily got over this weekend?
Oh, is
The-
that Emily's?
Yeah, she's got
Oh,
it.
I thought you showed it. Oh, I thought you had it there.
No, I don't have it. Here. I wish.
Okay.
But it was cool. It was a banger that was like double banger long.
I'm gonna find one and I'll yeah talk about
Yep.
it.
And then there's a the carb cap had a glass chain hanging off of it with a glass ball at the end of the chain. And that glass ball and chain goes down into that long skinny banger. And when you hit it, it just spins in there like this. It's super dope. And then you just pull the whole thing out.
Oh, here it is.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. It was pretty dope. I liked it.
Yeah, I'm gonna need a visualization of this, please.
I got you. I got you. All right. So there's your carb cap.
Oh, that one's
put
ugly
it
as
in.
hell.
This one reminds me of Mario. There you go.
Yeah, That was like an
Alright.
actual chain and ball. Yeah.
Ball and chain.
Ball
And
and
That
then
one is
this
out.
is typically, I'm guessing it comes with the banger.
Interesting.
Oh, it is a set, but that way it's measured perfectly.
Right.
And it hangs right there at the bottom where your turp pearl would, and it just goes.
Does that not get? Oh yeah, it's probably not enough time to get hot, right?
No, I mean just like your turp ball, probably a little warm, but
Is it all glass?
I would imagine, yeah,
Yes.
yeah, you'd
Yes,
have to
it's
make
all
them out of
glass.
glass. You wouldn't
Hers
want them
is
out of
diff-
metal. I don't want metal in my dab.
The one she's got is just a banger, but it's
I'll
got
find another one.
It's got a neck between the it looks like two bangers, end to end with a neck in between with just a hole big enough for the glass ball to go down it.
Nice.
That's cool.
It's really kind of enclosing that space to heat it up, or yeah.
I see these videos and I just don't want to bang up my banger.
It doesn't.
Isn't it go?
Glass?
No, I don't
Glass
know.
on glass on glass, bro. It's glass on glass on glass.
Yeah,
It's
I think
extra surface area.
they're made for each other. Those,
I guess that makes sense.
you don't have a turp slipper yet?
I have a turf slurper, but
Okay.
I guess nothing's happened to it. But I keep
Yeah,
a regular
blender.
pillar in there, nice smooth
Yeah,
pillar, so it's
Yeah, I
minimal.
mean, But think about the weight of that thing versus the weight of those chains. Those chains hitting the side of that is nothing compared to the weight of that big pill spinning around in there.
Yeah, that's true.
Bang.
I don't know. I think we'll have to weigh them because I think my pillar
heavy at
weighs
all.
less than the chain and ball.
And maybe all together. But
No,
I bet you the
small ball and the
force.
chain.
I bet you the force that's hitting the side of your turp
Yeah, because
slurper
that chain is just
more than
really
the
just
chain.
doing this.
No,
It's
because
not
if
getting
you have
a lot of-
powerful lungs like us, my turf slurpers should spin in the middle after a second.
So you're saying it doesn't hit the
Centrifugal
side at
force
all.
should force it into the middle. Huh?
So you're saying it doesn't hit the sides at all?
It does when you first, but once you get it going, it's in the middle.
So does that have? I mean,
I don't know if that would. I don't know. I don't know.
I think either way, that's a moot point. Considering that, I think the larger the force that the pill is creating is going to be more destructive than a small little dinky loose glass chain that's bouncing off the side of a turf.
Especially since the link, all the links are
to get
pivot points.
Mythbusters on it.
Let's get on it, dude. I'm ready for it.
Plus, you gotta remember,
we got a lot of time.
Let's throw the challenge down.
Do some dabs.
You gotta
this one's
remember,
called-
you gotta remember, Big, too, that chain, each link is a pivot point. So if it did hit, that just bends away and absorbs that.
Yeah, it's such a minimal amount of force, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Like, listen, I only took physics 101, but I, come on.
Yeah, you.
I know. I hit that thing, and I was like, "Yeah, this is nice. I'll be getting one probably." They were selling sets at we went to Normal, Illinois, and they had a glass shop called the Smoke Shop, I believe. And,
very original.
Yeah, exactly. But it was cool because the guy behind the counter said it was him and two other guys, I think he said, that they all owned it and worked there. So they all had pieces of the company.
Nice, like a co-op
Which
almost.
which was cool.
That is cool.
And man, we ended up getting so much cool shit. We got a gravity bong. She got a little gravity bong in there, which was dope.
Oh, nice.
Just like yours, Baked, a little bit smaller, but I mean the same concept. Everything is glass.
They rip your face off.
Hell yeah, we were doing
You
bong
know?
rips of with Bliss. What'd you say, Tara?
Do they do online sales at all?
I don't know. I didn't even ask.
I'll have to check them out and see if they do. I'm
I
looking.
think.
for
I think.
so.
I
They're
think anything
awesome.
grows
Yeah.
means the High Point Glass is the brand of the banger. So you might be able to get the same one off of.
Okay.
I'm not sure, because
Okay. I'll check it out.
if not, you'll have to visit her, and then hit the smoke shop, because that's the name of the place.
So, yeah, it was
Well,
pretty.
Don't Google it though.
get to my kid in Iowa, so that wouldn't be too hard for me to do. So
There you go.
yeah,
There you go.
got an easy excuse right there.
Yeah, if
For
the
all-
internet fails you,
Friends.
hit the road.
It's a nice little town.
Is this at Spartan?
Screen
Let's
shared.
see if that's us.
Looks like it. Somewhere at least.
That's very similar to it. Yes.
Yeah, it's
very,
Okay.
very,
That's
very
cool.
similar
Look,
to
it's
that.
got a
Yeah.
wrangle in that chain right there. You see,
Yeah.
they were worried, so they put a fucking a guard like at the bowling alley bumpers.
Right.
They got
It really
bumpers.
is. It's like a choke point that's going to whip that chain, and so it's
That's
now
what's-
going to bounce off of two different spots and break up that force and multiply it and spread it out. And wow,
Ooh, that
we're
was
really
nice.
You gotta log in to view the price. This is some wholesale website. Skygate.
I
This
think
is
they were-
buying from robots straight away.
I think it was $39.99 was what the price was on them at the shop.
Oh, that's not bad.
yeah. That really, I mean,
For the
seems
set.
fair even for
For
manual.
a set,
you
yeah,
drop-
see,
you
that's
drop the dab in
awesome.
there,
For
and then
that set,
tap
for the
with
banger
ball
and the
and rip it.
Say what,
Yeah.
Red?
Like you put the dab in there, and then you cap it with the ball and chain and rip it.
Yeah, it's a 2-step process there. It sounds like, so that's cool.
yeah, and then when you pull that banger out, it's like a carb on the side of a pipe. It just clears it so awesomely quick.
I wonder how cool the bottom ball on the chain stays, because if it's cool enough, you could just pull that sucker out and you could dip that
So
if it's not hot.
Emily likes to do cold or anything gross. Sorry, anything gross likes to do. Sorry.
Either way, it's cool. She's not. She's cool
She
with it.
likes cold start. So can she still do that with doing a cold start? And I'm not in chat tonight, so I can't see the comments. So let me know.
Yeah, she had said earlier that it doesn't work as good with the cold starts for sure.
Okay. I didn't think it would, but I was just curious.
No.
'Cause you don't want to heat up the ball that's on top.
Yeah,
I would think.
do that.
that's what I would think, Becca. Like you'd be heating up the ball at that point, whereas the other way, the ball stays a little cooler.
But I guess you could like
Maybe.
heat up without the top and then put the top on.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could
You
always
might
do a
as well
cold
just
start
heat it
that
up.
way.
That's a good point.
I wonder if you had a terp sous vide, if you could hang your
What?
thingy over the top of the terp sous vide and have
Oh,
it-
what?
Sous vide.
Wouldn't you want the pearl to hurry?
You gotta
Hold
spell
on,
it right.
Hold on, Red. Hold on, Red.
SOUS space VIDE. You're not gonna spell it right. It's French.
Yeah. Do not ask me to spell it.
SOUS space VIDE. It's what I use to
A
do a
terp-
hot water
a ter-
bath.
Terp sous vide. And if you use one, please be motherfucking careful. I burnt all the motherfucking fingerprints off
Hold on,
my
spell it again for me. SUOVER.
SOUS
Oh, jeez.
It's not sour. It's soup.
SOUS space VIDE. Sous vide.
Oh, okay. That is a weird thing. All
Yeah,
right, here we go.
bro.
Super cool
All
concept.
I
right,
think. I don't know. I have no idea.
I gotta get this thing up.
Just be very educated before you use it. Don't be a stupid ass like me and like slip and oops, I grabbed the bend of the neck of the banger instead of the lower portion. That's
I'm
what
gonna click on the complete
So,
kit. And I'm gonna bring it up.
just be careful.
What is this
Oh.
thing, Tara?
So this is
Oh
my God, look at I mean it's
Oh my
awesome.
God.
So
This
your
is
turn.
amazing.
Oh, this is
This is
okay.
amazing.
They
Okay.
put like an iron. Yeah.
So you this
It's like
is
Way
for
too
your
expensive, but that is
for
amazing.
your banger, your rig. Your banger is gonna sit in this portion of the upper. I don't even what you call that thingy. I don't
Is
know
it a
that.
heater? Is it a torch? Is
Hold
it a
on.
I
Can I
know.
just interject real quickly and just say there's this thing called an e-nail. All right, I'll back out now.
True.
Pretty much
Sure.
an
The
That's
e-nail
what this
you
is.
can't
This is
you can't have a
just.
slurper or a blender with an e-nail.
Yes, you
This
absolutely
is a
can.
slurper blender e-nail.
Yes, you
Is that a
absolutely
Yeah,
can.
but without
Go-
without
I yes, you can. They
Bring
have
it up.
e-nails
Bring it
for
up for
slurpers.
Rolly while we're watching
I don't
this.
have it yet. I don't have it yet.
Oh, okay.
oh okay.
I literally ordered it yesterday. Don't
Oh,
tell Mrs.
oh.
Gurley though.
Heating
I hope
it
she's
without
not watching.
butane.
You know, but
Keep it
bring
on
up the
deal.
website.
Keep it
All
on the
right.
deal.
I wouldn't be talking about it if I
Oh.
hadn't used it, and I have used it. Yeti Stash
Let's
has
see,
one. So we've been able to use it at work, and I feel like it's a great thing to have because if you watch the process, all you're doing is putting your rig up there, your banger's hanging
Oh,
up.
that's my banger, by the way.
And I
Or
don't know.
It's
if
a
I don't
Joel
know.
Hill.
so here's the other thing that I like to do, and we do this often, is you don't have your rig hooked up. You just
Oh.
have your banger hanging over the side. And that's what fucked me up. We just had the banger into the inside of it. And when I went to grab it, I didn't grab the bottom portion of it. I grabbed the bend. And it like scalded all my fingerprints off on my fingers.
Wait, what are you talking about? You didn't put your banger in the rig?
No, it was just hanging on the.
Yeah,
No, she didn't grab it like this.
Oh.
She grabbed it like
Yeah,
this.
like TP it on the side.
So she grabbed it really close to the sous vide.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would burn the shit out of you. Grab it down low.
Cause you guys were just hanging your banger in there without a rig.
Yep.
Okay, I see. Yeah.
All you got to do is set
So
your-
look at this. Look at this. That's what he's got here. Look at this. See, watch what he does. He's gonna. This is a little mini lift, and it's got a knob.
Yeah,
And then
that
he's
lift,
just
that lift right there is a rebranded fucking laboratory beaker lift. So you probably get
Boom,
it for
boom.
way cheaper in the
From
laboratory.
Amazon
shop.
beaker lift.
I've worked in a lab for a very long time, and I know what that is. But when I look at that, I think it's like a car jack.
That's what
Yeah.
to me it looks like a motorcycle lift that I'm gonna get for the hash room.
At Yeti's house, I'm like, oh, the car jack's out.
For grilling.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy.
Cool.
$600 though.
I'm a
That's,
little
I'm on mute.
leery
What
of
was
it right now, just because I burnt
thank
myself
you.
on it, so I'm still not like back to using it again. I have a few times, but not all the way. So, but it's fun.
well, do you guys have the scissor lift thing?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, so just put it in a rig.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah,
I
Tara, you're sort of using it improperly.
Yeah.
Yes,
I don't understand.
Okay, so here's the thing. He has very expensive bangers or rigs, and I'm very afraid to use some of his things. So I would rather scald the fuck out of my fingers than worry about breaking his things. So he uses it that way, the proper way, and I'm scared of it. So
Go grab a $40 rig.
Here's
Bring
my
it
question.
in then.
Is that thing? is that thing? What was the heat source? Is it a butane heat source that's like a flame, or is it an electric heat source and it's just heating
I
it
don't
up?
know.
Does it make a sound that goes? Or
Yeah.
just
We
like,
just-
It's
just gotta-
loud, but it
we gotta-
sounds like it's more
Let
like
me go look.
Yeah, we just
I
gotta
didn't-
do this.
you have to like
It
turn it
sounds
on and like
lower.
so
All
like
right.
lower, so it's like a heat gun. So maybe an electric. So it might be electric. Maybe it's electric heater.
I don't know. I'm sorry. I know it's
That's
bad.
okay.
It says no more butane.
No more butane. Okay, probably electric heater.
No
I'm pretty
butane.
sure it's
No.
electric.
Okay, so yes,
Your
there's
description sounds like a
hooked
heat
up,
gun.
there-
It's
hooked up.
propane.
I guess it's
No,
not.
it's propane. Propane.
I can see the cord. It's
You can hook
definitely
it up to a
electric.
20-gallon tank.
Put anything in there to charge it, but then again, I don't remember there being a cord though either, so I don't know.
All right,
I'm
I'm
pretty
sharing
sure
my
it's
screen
electric.
right now. if you want to see that Terp Sliver e-banger, because we just gotta.
Yeah, don't listen to Tara. She sucks.
No. It's not that. It's just this does exist. Like,
So
this
it
can
slides
happen.
off, or
Yeah,
does it
it's
just
just-
sit on
it's the
top
same-
of it?
it's
It's
the
just
same-
sitting on top of it. Okay.
No. It's
So is that for the coil? Or is that for the banger?
What?
So the coil sits right here. There's a clip that holds it on, and it goes around this whole base right here, and that's gonna
And
heat
you're not
up.
worried about it getting all over your coil?
The coils
Only
stick-
compatible with the Terp E Serper coil.
Right,
Click on that.
right.
How much is that?
As if it gets on your coil.
Oh,
you
that's not, I
like-
guess,
Well,
that
okay.
bad.
Here, this is the only reason I'm bringing this up is it's 40% off right now, and so I just want to show you guys
What
something real quick.
website?
Is it a 7th one?
high5vape.com.
That's my first place I got a dab rig from, like, literally 10 years ago.
Dude, there you go.
Damn,
They
And
made
so,
Is it a
simple
basic
fucking
7th
dab
one?
rigs.
like, yeah, and you can get like you get
They still the same designs.
the whole kit up. Dude. Like, look at this.
I got the
E-Slurper.
Spaceman.
There you go. There's your
I may still have that son of a bitch.
330 minus 40% off. It ends up being like under $200
I'll have to
for
find it.
this whole kit. So I don't know. For if you're a new dabber, man, like,
Well, typically
feels
those
like a good deal to me.
those
And I've-
those
that's the bangers I'm using, and that's all I got. Like, I'm not sponsored by them or anything, but I got that email today about 40% off, and I'm like, that's worth it.
their coils didn't plug into your other email.
It didn't plug into my Michigan email, so
Okay.
after
So
Michigan
they are.
email had to reroute the wires, and it was like just swapping 2 or 3 wires because they're all 5-pin connections. That's why on this one, which is the Terp Slurper, which is going to be a very single-use kind of like minimal style rig, not something that we're going to like set up at an event or anything like that.
Yeah.
That's going to kind of be, it's like it's on its own thing. It's on its own email. It's not like totally separate. So that coil will work with the email because I bought them both from that company.
Yeah. I just know I had their original email box, and I know I got disorderly conduction when I moved up here right before I did, and those two had the same plug. They're
Yeah,
like the
that's
same
very
proprietary.
helpful.
So I was like, so it might work for some people out there. Check, maybe message them and see if it'll work with your
No,
box.
on their
but-
website they have like a description of how they set their pins and everything.
Okay,
They're-
perfect.
But
That's
if you ask them, I've done this. If you ask them through customer service, like, hey, like your pins aren't working, they'll just be like, hey, like go, you got to buy our box or whatever. But they have like the diagram, I think, on their website.
Well,
If they don't, the company you buy your box from should, and it shouldn't take much more than 2 or 3 solderings to get that right. And if you know how to use a soldering iron, you're gonna, again, it's like you have the tools to be able to fix these things from here on out, right? So it doesn't matter if you do it wrong the first time. You've got a soldering iron. Now you can try it again and you fix it. And now every coil you get can match whatever box you want, you know? So I don't know. It's the beauty of having the tools and the knowledge at your expense. But yeah, we're gonna try the Terp Slurper email. We're gonna see where that goes.
Yeah.
I like
That
the
one,
idea for sure. But I still like the way the one Tara showed the best because you can take it off, let it cool off, clean it out, maybe with a Q-tip, with it being colder, and then put it back in the heat if you want.
This is what I wanted to ask Tara and Baked and anybody else that's used these. Do you guys like the ball at the top, or do you guys like a carb cap at the top? Because there was that option.
I am
like-
indifferent. Or what's the
I
word?
like.
I could care. I don't really have a
It's just
hard because
just hit the
I
Terp
like
Slurper.
it depends on what the top is because the ball sometimes secure and sometimes the other
So-
one is.
If it's a slurper, I
Real
want,
quick.
or a blender, I want a ball. But if it's a regular banger, I want the other version.
Okay,
Where I can
it's-
direct the current.
These are
because
my
the
two
slurper is
Terp
directing the air current otherwise. I just need a cap.
okay.
I got this
see
is
what-
my favorite
what
because
they
they're
say.
opals, regular pillar,
Look how clean
ball.
those are. Damn, dude.
And then they're actually not that clean, but
I mean,
sweet.
it looked like it from here.
And then this is a fancy mushroom style where it's just a carb
Nice.
cap, and this is everything else. It hangs
the
and it
pill that
spins.
hangs in-
Yeah, and it just kind of spins and bangs around. But I honestly, my favorite for a regular banger would be this, just a regular bubble cap with
Oh,
I
directional
direct it.
airflow one.
I like to
Okay.
direct it.
He
I
can
like
use
But
it.
that's
that.
in a regular banger, not in a turf slurper, right?
But that's for the regular banger.
Okay.
Yeah, the other two I just showed you are my banger or my turf
explain-
slurper options.
Explain to me real quick, and I think Spartan just did this, but explain to me, guys, why you don't need a direct. And I'm asking because I've never smoked out of a turf slurper on my own. What is the reason
Because
you don't need a directional
we don't have much
banger
time.
and a turf slurper?
It's so if you're sucking hard enough, like like you and I probably do, fucking
Why you gotta bring me into this?
Don't want to
because
direct-
we're big guys where we have big ass lungs.
You want to spread it around. You just don't
But
want to suck it down the down.
and we take
I
big
don't know how else
dabs.
to put it.
It'll move it around fine with this. I can watch the oil just go wherever I want it, and
it's
so
It's just
you
going
don't
down.
really need the directional with the Ruby. It has science behind it where it'll hold heat and everything, but that's why I don't
Jared,
use
can
it.
you say that again? Say that
Really?
again.
So if you don't have any product in the middle, like a ruby or anything like that, you're just going to suck it down the downspout. If you don't have any direction to it, there's just nowhere for it to go. It goes down the downspout. You have some direction, you're going to spin it all the way up, and you're going to get the most because you got heat all around your whole, banger in that. So because you've heated it all up properly,
So it's keeping the oil vaporized,
chain.
right?
just all right in here.
Like a
But if
chain.
The key is
Wild
keeping
on
it
it.
off of the bottom where you have hot spots.
you go on the downspout, if you go wild.
And that's where we're gonna leave it. We'll talk I guess more tomorrow on the late sesh. I want to thank chat and everyone for good night and see you tomorrow.